The long wait is finally over. After what feels like years of waiting, Overwatch 2 has arrived in full. You can now play it for free on the Blizzard launcher if you'd like to do so. And we're here to bring you the Kiriko Cup tournament for us to dip our toes and see what Overwatch 2 is about. Of course, we did run a tournament during the beta, but now that things are out, there's a lot that's changed since then. And speaking of changes, one thing that hasn't changed, of course, is myself, Sun Phoenix, here on the broadcast, bringing you all the action throughout this weekend and the next. But I'm joined by a new face, well, hooded figure, in the form of Fluffy. Welcome.
Hi there.
So it is the Kiriko Cup, as I said, a sort of pug-style tournament, you know, as we are wont to do here at COWZA. Players of all skill levels sign up together and COWZA places them in teams, and we get to see how they perform. So it should be a lot of fun. Fluffy, you're a new face here, but a very old face in the community. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what's changed since Overwatch 1?
The biggest change from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 is that we have unfortunately said goodbye to one of our dear tank players.
Oh, terrible news.
So the game has gone from 6v6 to 5v5. We lost a tank. We're now 2 DPS, 2 supports, and 1 tank. Other than that, aside from balance changes, not much has changed. We won't be seeing 2 CP, which I think many people will be happy about, but we will be seeing a new game mode, Push.
Yeah, Push. Replacing 2 CP. Mixed reviews on Push, I think, from what I've seen. But I think most people are happy to see the back of 2 CP.
Yeah, Push is divisive at the moment, but most people agree they prefer it to 2 CP. 2 CP did have its moments, but it was challenging at times.
Yeah, definitely. From a caster's perspective, though, 2 CP was a ton of fun. But in terms of the game, we'll bring you here first, and just to clue you in on what's going to be happening throughout this weekend, at least for today, we'll have 4 matches spaced out every 3 hours, she says, hoping he got that right. And the first match here will be Frontline Fighters versus Toasties, and that's the best thing about these tournaments is, of course, the great/terrible names that the players come up with. So, Fluffy, why don't you run us through the Frontline Fighters squad?
Well, we have an interesting squad. We have playing DPS for the Frontline Fighters. We have Zwoom, a notable tank player. And we have... who is the other tank? Josh Z, who I must be honest,
There's no other tank, Fluffy.
No, sorry, DPS player. Old habits die hard.
Yeah.
The second DPS is Josh Z, who I must admit I don't know anything about.
I think he's a new player.
On tank, we have Twisty, another new face. On support, we have Ontiablo and Zlade. Of course, one of them will be playing Kiriko.
Yes, that is true. Of course, the namesake of this tournament, the Kiriko Cup, is the new hero, Kiriko, with new abilities to forget the names of, and a lot of fun, I think. Have you had much experience playing Kiriko?
I love Kiriko. She is the thing that brings me the most joy in my life.
Yes, you can't see it, but I can see that reflected in his Discord name right here. Looking at the other side, the Burnt Toasties, we've got Rexu and Cubic on DPS. Of course, Cubic, well known for his tank prowess, I think, as a part of the old, whatever Peach's old team was called, I can't remember now. Rexu, Overclocked, that's what it's called, I remembered that, I wasn't told. Rexu, who used to play for Leiden briefly, he kind of oscillates between Apex and Overwatch, but back with us here for the Kiriko Cup. Defect subbing in for Enthusiast, I believe, on that tank role. Of course, if you don't know Defect, you need to be paying more attention. Takuma and Phoenix on the supports, both have been around for quite a while. Of course, Phoenix well known for her Lucio and Mercy exploits on many teams. I think Takuma used to be an off-tank. I could be wrong about that, but I'm
not sure. The
name links to D.Va in my head, so fingers crossed that is correct. But of course, off-tanks have been jettisoned into other roles now. Many of them obviously on tanks, but we'll see a little bit about that going forward here throughout the tournament. Our first map here will be Lijiang Tower at a different time of day. Of course, one of the new features of Overwatch 2 is the maps Many of the maps are the same, but they are slightly different. It's amazing how a time of day change actually changes the way a map feels.
There are also small changes to each map. With the game going to 5v5 and with the addition of new heroes, the devs have made small changes to the existing maps. You will see new pieces of cover added that add more cover for players to hide behind, essentially, because without that tank, there is more space for DPS and snipers to run wild. So we will maybe see some small changes to maps if you aren't familiar with the new maps.
Yeah, and we will, of course, also, as you alluded to there, see a bunch of new maps as well. All of the modes, of course, push a brand new mode, so all the maps are new, as well as new maps for all the various modes. But we're going to start with an old favorite here, Lijiang Tower. Now, 5v5, big changes. We're going to see what these teams bring out here. But what are you expecting to see out of teams this weekend?
So the first thing is, with the rules of the tournament, both teams must be running a Kiriko. So we don't know what really to expect from a Kiriko because obviously she's a new hero. There are also new heroes, but Junker Queen and Sojin were both seen in the betas. Kiriko is brand new. She isn't even available in comp yet. So we don't really know what comp Kiriko is going to work with, whether she'll work in more of a dive comp or a spam comp or a brawl comp. We don't know. Hopefully during the duration of this tournament we might be able to see what comps she will work in. So in the course of the match, we might see experimentation from these teams.
Yeah.
As we can see from the teams now, we see more of a dive run-up coming up with the Kiriko and the Lucio. They're going to look to get very aggressive, whereas the other team seems to be having more of a sustain comp with the Ana and with the Sojin, another one of the new heroes that we're going to see.
Yeah, so the three new heroes, of course, Junker Queen, Sojin, and Kiriko. Already two in this game. No Junker Queen. Junker Queen, kind of a unique tank. Kind of slots in a lot like Doomsday, so she feels a lot more like a DPS as we watch the teams roll out here. Frontline fighters will be running that soldier on Josh G. Just putting the damage in. Both teams running the Diva here, interestingly enough. Of course, the old tanks have to fill new roles, especially the off tanks here. As teams kind of just pressuring each other forward here. HP advantage. Ooh, big anti over the top here onto the frontline fighters. They need to be careful now, having to back up just a little bit, but standing firm. You can see how much of a raid boss the tanks are. But unfortunately, Rexu, or Twisty rather, will drop first here, and that's a huge disadvantage now for the frontline fighters. Your tank so much more important now that there's only one of them. They will take the better positioning on the point here, and they will get that first cap, it looks like. Space being given away here for Burnt Toasties, but they see the opportunity and now they jump forward. Suzu thrown down, but Suzu, or rather thrown down, not going to keep anyone alive as Cubic finds the back of Zoom there as they look just to clean things up here and take this point back on the side of Burnt Toasties. So a good start for Burnt Toasties here. So far they've had the better of the engagements.
Very good. The Burnt Toasties can take more sustain with the Ana than the Lucio Kiriko. Kiriko doesn't offer that much healing. So the frontline fighters want to be taking a faster fight. They want to be engaging hard and engaging together, whereas the Burnt Toasties can sustain a bit more.
That is true. Frontline fighters, though, they do have that soldier if they want to add a little bit to that sustain as well. Doesn't obviously balance out what the Ana brings on the other side, but something to take note of as well as the Burnt Toasties now look to get aggressive here with the Sojin ultimate. Shows the grenade in there, just putting the damage on the Diva. But it's the opposite. Diva has to pop his ultimate. Oh, Zoom taken down though with his ult. Popped, yes, and not finding anything as the Nanoblade comes out from the Burnt Toasties, and
we've seen
great
the
work
first
from the frontline fighters. Yes, what's it called? Who knows?
Tsune Rush.
There we go.
Amplifies everything to ludicrous levels.
And we saw that right there as now frontline fighters just get aggressive here. They're on the back foot a little bit, having to pop the beat just to come through the doorway here. Good back from the Burnt Toasties, but Phoenix a little bit sluggish and will get taken down as the frontline fighters push forward, looking to pick up that Kiriko. Not going to find it just yet. Trying to find Cubic on the front line there, but Takuma will drop, so one less Kiriko in this Kiriko Cup as they look to clean things up. Frontline fighters finding the picks here, but Zoom will go down on the other side. Defect dropping as well, so tank dearth for both teams now as the point does flip, and that's going to be the cue for frontline fighters to get back. But popping ulti here, Josh decides he wants to clean things up here and secure this team fight 100%, but that felt like a little bit of a aggressive maneuver.
It was a big use of an ult But in the end, it did get value. That late pick really adds.
Yeah.
That fight from the frontline fighters was much better. The good aggressive beat and all of them rushing in together and getting that pick early.
Oh,
Question is,
that's
can they
not
build
the-
on that?
Yeah, Zoom dropping early there to his opposite number. Cubic finds that one as now the bomb goes in. That looks like it could be a big one. Oh no,
Almost.
just managed to get around the corner. Does Phoenix there, and the rest of the squad is Cubic finds another pick here, doing really well. Oh, two more it looks like, and that is that. A team wipe. Kitsune Rush popped as well, but they'll be happy that 73% on the clock.
It's going forward. We see there are still some big ults in the game. The big one, obviously, is the Dragon Blade. Can they combo anything? Will they wait for the nano to accompany that? On the other hand, we do have the Kitsune Blade, I think we'll call it. Or
Yeah, I guess so.
big anti there.
Oh yeah, big anti
Here it
onto
comes.
the squad, but the
Kitsune.
Suzu pop, but countered with the bomb. Does that find anything? Yes, it does. Josh G taken down. Anubis won't be ready anytime soon now as the blade here from Burnt Toasties. Cubic to find the picks, but no, it's Woom with the better of that engagement. He knows a thing or two about comboing with blades. Finally gets to pull one out himself to defect. Picks off two. As, ooh, who's this? Rexu pops his ultimate, looking to put the pressure on, looking to clean things up here. Overtime just barely stopped from expiring here as the Burnt Toasties come back in. 99% on the clock. They are doing a very good job contesting here and just buying time for the tanks to return, but unfortunately for them, just not enough here to keep them in the game as the Nano Boost comes here onto defect, going to allow him to clean up, and he does just that. Burnt Toasties with the better start here at the Kiriko Cup.
It was a close round though. I feel like the 57% doesn't reflect that it was close, and each fight was close, and it was good ult economy, which is surprising for Overwatch 2, to be honest. Overwatch 2 ult economy has been odd, with players adjusting to the lower ult rate, and there has been a lot of 5 ults, or 10 ult rounds.
Yeah,
We're seeing a big composition swap now. The Reinhardt. This is a favorable Reinhardt map, but obviously they won't have a Lucio, or if they will, they'll be playing Lucio Kiriko. So it will be a slow Reinhardt. We might see the aggression work well here against the Reinhardt comp.
We could, but of
Although
course
with the
the trade-off is the honor from Phoenix will allow the Burnt Toasties to be a lot more sustainable once again, and it worked for them in the last round, so we'll have to see here. I quite like playing Reinhardt into D.Va a lot of the time, but you can see the damage that comes through onto his shield already popped. That makes it awkward for him, but now going to move forward here. They've got the Reaper. Rex, who are going to be pumping in damage here. So defense matrix management going to be absolutely critical here. Cubic, I think, was hoping for a Reinhardt on the opposite team here for the mate to find a ton of value, and you see he already drops, but Defect firing back, but they're losing players quite quickly now on the Burnt Toasties. They've lost their Ana, now they've lost the Kiriko as well, so Defect all by his lonesome with no healers. He'll charge and get some damage, but Zoom will clean him up. So this time, advantage to the frontline fighters to start us off.
And this is Overwatch 2. This is how fights so often go. Ignore the tank, kill the supports, kill the DPS, and then worry about the tank. And that's exactly what happened to the Burnt Toasties. Phoenix and Takuma died, and at that point, Defect can't do anything. Big Shadow
comes through. Big Suzu as well to counter it out. Defect now under pressure, taking a bit of damage, and he will not drop just yet, but he's isolated. Under pressure, not going to take it down. Zlade going ham there on the front line, trying to find him, but will not do so. Twisty dropping low, does get taken down, pops the bomb to remech, will get the mech. No, gets taken down by Rexu on the Sombra as Defect under pressure on the front line. A little bit lonely here. He might get taken down. 26 HP, and he does end up going down. Losing a tank so critical here. Both teams now without a tank as Rexu looks to put the damage in. Of course, big changes to EMP since Overwatch 1. It's now a big nuke, basically, on top of the hack it usually provides, but that's going to be that for this fight, and Burnt Toasties struggling a bit to find a way in.
We're going to see maybe some ults used. Here they come.
Here they
A
come.
lot of ults going in. Oh, but that's a massive sleep.
Huge sleep, and they do find the pick as well. Cubic gets rid of the pesky tactical visor now. Zoom though fires back. Kiriko down. That's important. No one is
Very even
in the
fight.
fight for them. Even fight here. Twisty has his ultimate at the head already, so if he does drop, he can remake. But Kiriko in the mix to keep him healthy. Anti-heal. EMP over the top with the blade. This is a lot of damage. Kiriko down. Onti no longer part of this fight, but a huge bomb over the top. Finds two, including Defect. So all of a sudden, the fight turns on its head. Slade, though, a little bit over aggressive there, will get taken down. And it looks like a 2-3v3 on the point, but the tank difference there coming through at the end of this team fight.
That was a really good fight for Frontline Brawlers. mainly because they kept point. It was a very even fight ult-wise, but they kept point the entire time. And now we're looking at last fight for the Burnt Toasties.
Sune Rush comes through though from Dakuma. He looks to help his team push forward. Actually, I think that was the other one. It's impossible to tell. Who's to say what's happening in these team fights? It's me. That's who. As Defect looks to put the pressure on. Lots of damage coming through. The Shadow is a big one.
Big.
Just finds the one, unfortunately.
Can they
Slade
finish?
not able to get taken down either. As low HP there. The Soldier needs to be careful. Josh under pressure, but not going to get taken down. It's Defect. Oh, he's dropping low. But the backup is there. Phoenix doing an amazing job from the backline just to keep them healthy. But here comes the blade. Cubic.
Another sleep.
Put it into that, but no, it's nap time for Zoom as he gets charged back as well. Slade taken down. Zoom taken down. Defect on a rampage here, but that one is all thanks to Phoenix, and as a Phoenix myself, I feel like I was a part of that maneuver as finally the Burnt Toasties find some momentum here.
They've taken the point, and that is, as you say, mainly on the back of that sleep dart. That was a massive, massive find. It was also a big fight because that was a heavy ult fight for the frontline fighters. They do have some ults coming up now, so we might see again maybe a Visor and a Kiriko Kitsune rush, but the EMP on the other side is so big.
Yeah, EMP still as good as it ever was. Oh, Shadow, nice dodge from Rexu. Perfectly timed to get out of there. As Cubic finds a couple of picks, but the Perfect comes in with the big hammer swing to clean up a couple of heroes there. The hack onto the Genji will likely spell his end. No, he manages to escape, it looks like. Defect wants to get him, but no. Great fight from the Burnt Toasties there, and very efficient as well.
One ult for 2, and they won the fight, and they kept their EMP, and they have their Nano Blade coming up. That was a massive fight, and honestly, that fight might win them the round if they play things right. Oh, but that's bad.
Yeah, and of course they can't have any mistakes here. They're gonna win this now. Blade comes through on top of the Nano, on top of the EMP. So expensive fight, but a huge beat coming out of Slade. They're gonna keep the team healthy, but the anti-heal over the top will spell his doom as Cubic backs up here under pressure. Rexu though frontlining. I'm the tank now, boys. No, rip out of here as he looks to get back. Twisty does have the ultimate, but he's napping now on the front line. Cubic in the back line though will get taken down. It's Defect under pressure from Zoom, who's now hacked up. Rexu doing a great job on the Sombra, finding good targets, and will get taken down in the end though as the bomb will go down, but not going to find any picks here. Will allow Twisty to remake those. Laid though on a rampage. He's had enough of this map, and he wants to move on to the next round of Lijiang Tower, and it looks like the Foo Fighters, the frontline fighters, are going to do just that as they clean up a couple of kills, get this point back, and they will secure the second map of Lijiang.
That was almost so well played by the Burnt Toasties, but that pick on Defect cost them. Things were looking so good. When you're down, you really have to invest ults to try equalize the fight, and they did that. Unfortunately, they just didn't get enough value. It was a really big beat from Slade that nullified the value of Cubic's blade. It was, to be honest, again, very, very even. This one was closer than the previous one, but the ult economy is surprisingly good. I will be honest. I was expecting worse ult economy, but we can't gloss over, as pointed out in chat there, best sleeper in ZA. Phoenix did come massive in that round, so let's see if she can perform as well now.
Yeah. Of course, we spoke about experimentation and kind of finding a groove here. Defect's experimenting heavily on the tank. He's played a different hero each round now. This time on the Zarya, of course. In theory, a hard counter to D.Va, and as somebody who plays exclusively Zarya, it's hot, but that's its weakness. It can get taken down quite quickly if you get out of position. Defect does drop there. Slade dropped on the other side, but you'd rather have a tank, but Twisty now out of mech as well, so both teams down a tank as Burnt Toasties, Cubic here getting under pressure, but he does reflect a lot of damage, and he's doing so much. Oh my god, Slade deleted Cubic, killed him before even he expected to, as Ontiablo keeps the team healthy on the backline here, but with no tank, and now with fewer numbers, it looks like, 0.7%, but flip back immediately as Twisty looks to get picked off here. Does he get it? Yes, he does. The punch to stop the remix. You've got to be careful of this remix these days, because that can just end your life.
So we've seen a few stops of tank now. We saw Zarya, who is a very strong hero in the current iteration of the game, the current batch. But now we're seeing both the teams come out with a monkey. The monkey is very, very aggressive. Oh, that's a nice pick. That's a good pick.
Very nice
monkey enables aggression very well. He does require a bit of help, but
again, as you can see, I can't tell you how many times we've done that as monkey. You jump in and then you just evaporate basically.
It's good picks now. The frontline fighters have to stop themselves getting staggered, because this can be bad if this snowballs. The ult economy is just going more and more in the favor of the burnt toasties. Frontline fighters need to back up, just stabilize and re-engage us as 5 together. I almost said as 6.
I can't tell you how many times I've played Dota and said it's 6 and everyone laughs at me. Oh, here comes a couple of ultis though. Nano Blade, it's just normal Blade actually. We'll find 2, Phoenix included, so that's healing down quite a bit. Rexu not going to be that pesky Widow in the backline either now, as Zoom looks to come back in here. It looks like Frontline fighters have finally stopped the stagger and will be able to take this point back, but we've got to get the clean up here, and that includes Defect, who does have not an ultimate. He used it in that team fight, but that should be that. Defect going to be a late stagger here as well, Fluffy.
Big, yeah. Actually, we did see a Nano Blade. I was wrong, but also I was right at the same time.
Yeah.
The Burnt Toasties did use their Nano Blade in the losing fight, and they ended on a nice number. So maybe it wasn't for the all for nothing.
Who's the real winner? That's
exactly. It's going to be a fairly even. No, I stand corrected. Here we see the Kiriko ult.
Oh, Zumi's coming through the front line here. A lot of damage to follow up, but it's the other team getting aggressive here. Twisty and the boys and girls looking to put the pressure on, and Joshi with the attack visor gets a quad kill. Give him the rampage. Defect says no, thank you.
Kitsune visor. That was disgusting. Now that was big. Now we have a fairly even fight going in, and the percentages are going to be fairly even. So this could be an important fight. Oh, that could almost be really bad if Rexu died there.
Oh yeah, Rexu such low HP on the Sojourn, does manage to keep himself healthy, as now they look to move around the left side here. Put the pressure on. You got to be careful with the Sojourn. She can put a ton of damage in, but Slade, who needs damage when you got boops? That's Defect down. Not a hero you often see get booped off the map, as now Slade and the Co start to get aggressive here, looking to clean up. The Genji will not find him. Suzu down as well to keep him healthy, but it's an angry monkey here. Run away, boys, but they're in a room with the monkey, and they do get taken down. Zoom, Josh, and Slade all contributing here, and that's going to be Frontline fighters now taking firm control of the map.
That was a massive boot by Slade. Lucio almost works as another DPS in Overwatch 2. Supports almost are just more DPS. So the DPS centricity of the game, Lucio has to carry the weight like that, and that was really big by Slade.
It was indeed, but Swoom, he's now going to try and contribute. He knows who he wants, and he gets Phoenix out here. Takuma's had enough of this game, jumps off the map in solidarity with his support combo here. Zoom though cleaning up so nice. Cubic has to pop the blade, but with no friends to help him along, he will drop, and after a difficult start, the Frontline fighters will take the first map.
It was a fairly even map. It was a good map. Slade is lost in the well at the moment. There we go.
No, he's saved by to perfection.
Nice. It was a good map, and if I stand corrected, they did end on 69%, so maybe both teams won.
Now, who gets a 1 now in the win column? It's hard to say.
I think it's 1-1, right?
Yeah, I believe so. It is a best of 5, by the way, for those of you wondering. He said, I've not confirmed that.
Yeah, it is correct. That it is a best of 5. Yes. So
yeah, I just say things and then hope that I'm correct. But I've done enough of these now that I've got a pretty good sense of how these things tend to play out. But our next map? What is our next map?
It will be the loser will pick, so we'll just have to wait for Burnt Toasties to pick the map.
From which options? Any?
I'm very professional. I will tell you in a second. Esperanza and New Queen Street.
And Coliseum, so one of the push maps. So we'll get our first look at push in Overwatch 2 here, at least Overwatch 2 proper. Tell us a little bit about the push game mode and how that works.
So it is similar to Control in a way, but different in its own way. There is one robot in the middle. The robot will then be unlocked, and the teams must push that robot forward towards the enemy spawn. The team that at the end of the round pushes the furthest wins. This can be a very snowbally map. Teams need to have very good discipline with regards to not getting stagnant, because spawns do get... The further you push the cart, the further away your spawn gets. As well, on the other side, the further your enemy is pushing into you, the more difficult it is to take that fight if you're getting staggered. But it is fun. It's lots of new maps, which is obviously exciting. We're going to New Queen Street, which is the new Canadian map, the first of the Overwatch 2 maps we saw. We actually saw this map a long time ago, I think 2 years ago at BlizzCon.
Yeah, I think when it was announced, right? Overwatch
yes.
2.
When it was still
2 years
66.
ago.
3 years ago, when Overwatch 2 was still 66.
Oh my god, dude, what even... Okay, anyways, let's not dwell on the past. Overwatch 2 is here now. Yeah, for better or worse, as it turns out. But It is New Queen Street, as you say, push, as you say. It should be a lot of fun here. I'm interested to see what this map looks like in sort of more competitive play. Because when you play it in comp, it's such a mess. There's so many slight sight lines. There's so many paths through. You can get flanked so easily. You can't find a nice zone to set up in and sort of get a push going a lot of the time.
These maps do work often for fast team comps.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of success in Overwatch League and in Ranked with Lucio Reinhardt comps of these fast, aggressive comps and dive comps because these maps are so snowbally. It'll be interesting to see if we see the teams roll out on something like that. Obviously, we don't know yet. But compositionally, I mean, we've seen the only massive difference between these teams so far we've seen is the Ana pick from Phoenix, which has been getting a lot of value.
Yes, yeah. They did end up dropping that map, obviously, but Phoenix was a big contributor to their success. Defect, I think, having a bit of a mix session, both in terms of the heroes he's playing and also in terms of his performance, sometimes getting picked off on the front line just a little bit, but
which
he's
is
going to
not good for your tank player. You don't want to see that happening, particularly with how strong tank is. And again, like I said before, Overwatch 2 is very much a damage and a DPS-centric game in that all the roles have to pull their weight with that.
Absolutely. So Defect will opt for the Zarya here. The Diva, and Toasty will be on the Zarya. We're going to see a Pharmacy here. That's something new. Of course, Phoenix gets to hang out on her favorite hero, and Rexu as well, quite a notable Pharah player. So that could end up being a critical part of that. And in that case, Defect might be on the perfect hero to help mitigate some of Rexu's impact. Yeah, absolutely. And just gonna have to try and counter the Pharmacy. So far, not really focused on that. Oh, almost finds a pick there. Dropping low, and yes, there we go. Rexu does find that opening pick, finds a second as well, and that should be the fight pretty much over now. If they just need to clean up Rexu, finds his third. We'll give him a fourth here. Twisty. Oh, he won't get the Rampage, unfortunately, but can he at least find the quad? Yes, he does. And that's
it. They find mech, which is important because it means that if they take this fight quickly enough, they won't. The burnt toasties won't. I almost said evil toaster. Burnt toasties won't have their mech if they take this fast enough. The Pharah is putting a lot of pressure on Josh.
Yeah, you can see
he is taking that 1v2. And there is again. It's difficult for him.
Oh, they find Effect though, so that's a tank out of the fight. But how do they deal with Rexu and Phoenix in the sky here? You can see Auntie trying to be the one. Of course, a DPS player in his own right on the Kiriko, but
they find Phoenix.
Oh, that is huge. And with Joshi really joining the fight here, as we can see, that might be exactly what they need to take care of Rexu in the sky. They have flipped the cart now, the robot, and it is moving back towards the central point. But yeah, Rex is playing so aggressively with his positioning. We know Phoenix is dead, so it's crazy that he feels so comfortable playing so far forward.
He does have the Kiriko healing, who can heal from the auto aim on the healing is fairly generous.
Yeah.
Always Lade gets picked though. Rexu again finding value, and then the Kuma getting picked. This is what I was saying earlier of this snowbally fights, and there's a really good barrage.
Yeah, double kill on the barrage there. Zoom finds him though, but the rest comes through, but no! Zoom shuts that down, gets another. Will he take down Defect to end the team fight once and for all? Of course, Roadhog not an easy hero to find the kill on, but will they do it? Yes. Gets that kill, and now they can start moving forward and increase their lead here on New Queen Street.
They're about to take the lead, yeah. And we're going to see, I mean, we had some ults there, but now we're going to see really the ult economy taking form. This Pharah has been such a pain for the frontline fighters. It's putting a lot of pressure on Justy and a lot of pressure on Twisty to both deal with it.
And you can see Auntie as well feeling like he needs to also fire some kunais up into the sky. Valkyrie popped here to back up Cubic, and he finds a quick double. Joshin's laid out of the fight as they look to clean things up here on the side of the burnt toasties. Kiriko under pressure. Oh, just kidding. You can see Cubic knows who he wants, and he follows them to his own death potentially. But he finds the kills. That was 4 kills or 5. I wasn't paying attention.
I was not looking at the kill feed. I apologize. But we see, even now, it's even with this lead, it is the frontline fighters are still having advantage with the lead, but that Pharah again is causing issues. They do have their Kitsune rush coming up. The checkpoint coming up will be massive because the robot stops at the checkpoint and decides to scratch his ass.
Yeah, but it also gives you the forward spawn as well, so that can end up adding to that snowball effect. But Zoom's decided he's not going to allow them to get this first point. Now getting aggressive here with the double kill. Josh pops attack visor as well, so that's going to allow them to clean things up. The team kill And once again, the robot has to sprint across the map.
But that was a massive fight for them because they actually won that fight just before the robot got to the checkpoint. So that was a huge thing, which means now that Burnt Toasties, if they can push it to the checkpoint, they will have advantage. That checkpoint is massive in push.
It absolutely is. Salute to the hook comes through. Josh taken down.
Oh, but he's traded.
Drop. Yeah, that was not expected. And Zoom, he's got the ultimate. He's going for the birds in the sky, and they do end up finding Rexu. Phoenix will be soon to follow. Surely Cubic does drop. Did Phoenix not die? That is insane. Oh, there she goes, trying to get out of there, and it's a late pick. Worse than dying right at the start.
Now they will have that checkpoint. Not the worst fight to loot for Burnt Toasties because the robot is now sitting and waiting at that checkpoint, deciding to scratch and scratch and scratch. So the Burnt Toasties will come back, hopefully quickly, and so they won't lose that much time. It's now important that they win this fight so they can get some pushback.
Yeah, that is for sure. Defect now has moved on to the monkey. Wants to help Cubic find these targets in the backline, and so he's just going to press the front line. Oh, Josh dropping so low. Won't drop down though, but it does give Rexu a lot of space to do damage here. And he will continue to do so. You can see Diva getting so aggressive. They know the target needs to get taken down, but that was a little bit too hard from Twisty there. Didn't quite have the backup to give him live. But Josh, under pressure, taken down. Cubic with the blade. That should help them secure this fight. Yeah, Twisty going down. That should be that. And the cart can now start moving the other way. Just need to clean up this pesky Slade, as we've seen so many times with Cubic. Big short work of him.
There is nothing more annoying in this world than Slade stalling the cart on Lucio. We've already seen it once on Lijiang Tower. Well, this could be big if they pick him off.
Oh.
Also, economy-wise, things are fairly even. We only have actually, I stand corrected. We have a few ults coming up from both teams. It seems to be more in the favor of the Burnt Toasties, but they have to win 2 fights in a row now if they want to get pushed. And this is why push can be so difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Defect now, Angry Monkey with the Primal Rage, doing a lot of damage, taken down again. Once again, overextending just a little bit. You kind of have to get a feel for the limits of the tanks in Overwatch 2, and it seems like Defect doesn't have quite that feel yet as they now push forward in opposite direction. Tag fires are popped here, doesn't find a ton, but the team picks up the slack there.
That was bad for Burnt Toasties because this is the thing, you can't just win one fight. It's not like other modes. You have to win multiple fights in a row to gain push on the mode. Because at the moment Frontline fighters can just go neutral the rest of the game and they will win. It's on the Burnt Toasties to take initiative and win multiple fights. They have to be really disciplined with their ult economy and how they take this.
In the back line. Oh, I don't think he quite executed that how he meant to. A sprinkler on the ground here, spraying rockets all over the place as he does end up dropping. They find 2 kills on Frontline fighters though, and this could be a disaster for the Burnt Toasties because a lead this big is really hard to recoup if you're the Frontline fighters, but they are finding kill, or if you're the Burnt Toasties, but they're finding kills now. Defect taken down, Cubic under pressure. Defect will keep him alive, but no. Will end up going down, maybe. Oh, he pops the blade here. He's not going to give any space to take down Josh. He takes down Twisty as well. That might have been a genius maneuver there. Not sure what prompted that, but I mean, I was not expecting that.
Yeah. They had to. They had the advantage. They took out the tank and then the blade to finish off the fight. It's now on them to really get this push. They're really on the back foot. We're gonna see. Oh, that's a good pick. Again, it's these staggers can be massive in push. Defect has his primal, so he should be a bit more sustainable. On the other hand, it's only the beat which falls. These are huge picks if they can get this push.
Yeah.
Slade is the only ult, and again, we're seeing more. This is push. It can snowball. It can stagger. You have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
These ults that they have are massive.
This is what the Burnt Toasties needs right now. They need to keep this momentum going because, as you said, winning that team fight doesn't mean anything just yet. It's the next one that matters. It allows them to start getting some push on the card here. But you can see that little grey mark there on the other side is where they need to get to take the lead. And with 2 minutes left on the clock, it's going to be tough for them. Oh, Defect drops though with his ulti at the ready. No primal in this team fight. Nanoblade, as you say, coming through here. Auntie taken down immediately. Don't really want to be focusing on that, but the beat comes out, and that's going to neutralize a lot of that effectiveness. Twisty dropping low, but they do find the pick onto Cubic. Sides comes out now, and that's going to help clean up. Joshi will execute the last few players here, and once again, any momentum that Burnt Toasties gains is immediately stymied by the Foo Fighters. Oh my god!
Again, that was some individual heroics from Cubic, building that blade super fast, and then having the night combo. But unfortunately, Slade had the beat, and that the Foo Fighters took that fight really well and just nullified that value from those individual heroics. Now we're going to see the blade from Zoom come out.
Yeah, heroics in our direction
Kiriko
now
blade.
with the rush over the top here. Ash taken down as well. What do you find a third? Essentially, no. Takuma shuts him down, but now under pressure from Josh, he will get taken down as well. So good fight here for the frontline fighters as they look to push their advantage even further. Tank dropping low, but will not be taken down. And now it is dire straits for the burnt toasties.
Yeah, this is a difficult situation to come back from. Not impossible, but difficult, especially with the investment of ults. We're going to see the Kiriko rush here. Oh, almost got someone.
Oh, but the bomb in the other way might just neutralize that effect. And Phoenix taken down straight away. No Anna in the fight now. Cubic fires back with a kill onto Twisty without his ultimate. Obviously a big squishy human in the middle there. Slade finds a pick though. Zoom as well, but Zoom drops as well. Very even fight. Point is flipped, but it won't go anywhere until the team fight is over. So even if the burnt toasties are in control, they're gaining nothing at the moment. As Auntie looks to pressure. Can he find the kill? Suzu down, looks to get the picks. He does get defect or help contribute to that kill. Slade will eventually get taken down. With the spawn advantage so strong for the defending team here, that will allow them to take control and push forward. But this is it, Fluffy. They got to win now.
You said spawn advantage, but the map advantage is insanely in favor of the frontline fighters. They don't even have to push. All they have to do is win the fight, get off cart, and that's it. Absolutely. And but that's a good pick. Again, that's a massive pick because it doesn't mean that they have to win 2 fights. It now means they only have to win 1 fight if they can capitalize on that pick.
Well,
that was a huge pick.
They need to stay on the cart though now. Overtime ticking over. They're finding picks though, but you can see the way Cubic is playing. Oh, they're losing players here. You just stay on the cart. The robot here. As they look to get the picks. Twisty getting low, not taken down just yet. And oh, defect dropping down. This is still okay for the burnt toasties here as long as they can keep the momentum going.
It's not great
kind of drawn out. Yeah, fair enough.
It's not great because they have to keep pushing further into the enemy spawn while running away from the people who just respawn. And there it is.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It kind of... I was looking for a silver lining there, I think, but unfortunately it was pretty dire for burnt toasties. Once you let that big advantage go the other way, it becomes so hard to recoup that loss.
Yeah, it's... The often push is won and lost within the first 3 or 4 fights. It's very, very difficult to recover from a losing situation, which is why push is controversial at the moment. And the devs have been open about changing it, changing the speed of the robot moves and all that. So you could have smaller adjustments to it.
What do you think?
It was an even map.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think is better, TCP or push?
Why would you say something so controversial?
Because push has been getting a lot of pushback, if you'll pardon the pun.
Push has been getting pushback. I think push is an improvement upon 2CP. 2CP did have its moments though. 2CP going to an 8-all 2CP draw was frustrating and difficult to play at times. Push though is a good change. I just don't think it's been, personally, I don't think it's been quite ironed out yet. I think it's the right idea, but I think it just needs small adjustments here and there, which will come with time.
Yeah, I don't disagree. 2CP was bad.
2CP had its issues. It was a difficult map to play sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But
we're going into an old classic.
We've got a pretty difficult map, but one that everybody loves. Of course, the South African standard and Overwatch standard, not going anywhere in Overwatch 2. Kings Row will be our next map here. Of course, burnt toasties now on the back foot, down 0-2. This is a must-win for them, and hopefully a more comfortable setting will allow them to start that reverse sweep. Exactly.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for burnt toasties so far, there have been individual heroics from all the players and individual players from all the players, but they keep getting picked, whether it's Defect getting picked early or dying with his primal, or Phoenix died that last fight. So that they're just, everyone has made individual plays that are winning them fights, but at the same time everyone has made individual errors that are losing them fights. So they just need to come together and have more individual plays than individual issues, because they are winning fights. It's not a losing battle. They're just losing the war at the moment.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. These teams are definitely evenly matched enough that a 3-0 would be a disservice to the quality of the game.
Absolutely.
I think. That's the interesting thing about Kiriko Cup, because obviously you try and balance the teams based on SR, and SR is kind of fluctuated since Overwatch 2 came out, which complicates matters drastically. But often you find the teams that are closely matched in skill near the middle tend to do quite well, as opposed to teams with big gulfs.
Historically, teams that have very, very high-ranked players and very low-ranked players to try to balance them out haven't done as well as teams that are more averaged in the middle. And while all the teams are fairly close together with average SR, those average teams do tend to do a bit better. But again, it's with the nature of this tournament, it isn't that absolute balance can never be possible.
Yeah, it's not an exact science, to be sure, because just a single individual's MMR isn't an exact science, let alone the cascading effect.
Not even
five
Blizzard know how
people.
MMR works.
Yeah, exactly. So it's complicated. And as I say, with Overwatch 2 coming out, a lot of people have been ranked lower. Although, did you take the Overwatch 1 ranking?
So Overwatch 2 has taken everyone's ranked and dropped it by 600, 700 SR. Which when we
because I got ranked way lower than I was expecting.
that was fairly common. That was common across the board.
Yeah.
What we did with regards to signups was you could sign up with either, and then we took into account the fact that Overwatch 2 SR is considerably lower. You know, a plat player in Overwatch 1 is not a plat player in Overwatch 2. That was the thought process.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of normalized them.
Exactly.
Well, we are in King's Row here, as you can see. Oh, like coming back to an old friend. Yeah, exactly. As we look at the comps here, Rexu going to be on the Cassidy here. As Cubic and Zoom have been on this Genji. Is Genji super strong right now?
Genji is incredibly strong at the moment. So with a lot of balance changes that happened with moving from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 was the removal of a lot of CC. So obviously, with only one tank, a lot of CC is already gone. But then you think about heroes like Brigitte, who's lost half of her CC. You think about a hero like Anna, who's had a massive increase to the cooldown of her sleep dart and a reduction to the time that someone is asleep. You think about heroes like Cassidy, who has lost his flashback. There is far less CC in the game, which means that a hero like Genji, who's so aggressive in your backline, can really, really thrive. So Genji is in a really, really good state right now. Or strong state, I should say. Maybe too strong, but the Genjis have both been getting a lot of value.
Yeah, absolutely. Zoom and Cubic have been doing a lot of work here for their respective teams. As you can see immediately, he finds a target.
There it is.
Tracks down Rexu and gets rid of him straight away. And now he can get aggressive. He wants to take down the Ana in the backline. He will do so. Josh will get that cleanup, and there it is. The aggressive play here off the back of Toasties Ryan and allow them to force their way through this first point.
That was a really good pick off by Zoom. Widowmaker, another strong hero if the sightlines are good and the Widow is landing their shots. But Zoom was one better and took him out, which then just snowballs the fight, and the team Burnt Toasties just on the back foot. Interesting difference, the Reinhardt versus the Zarya.
Yeah.
It really depends on how frontline fighters want to take this. If they play it aggressive, if they engage on that team like they did in the last fight, the Reinhardt might have the advantage. That again, said, Zarya does do so much damage and is very, very strong.
Yeah, at least when I play Zarya though, you sometimes struggle to actually find the kills. You'll do infinity damage for infinity minutes and kill nobody. But maybe I'm bad, so who knows?
Yeah.
But you know, with the Reinhardt, your team knows how to play around the Reinhardt, which tends to help quite a lot.
A lot of players do struggle with adjusting to 5v5 and only having one tank.
Exactly, especially when that tank is not a traditional main tank, because here comes the Blade over the top, looking to find the cast, does start with Rexu. We'll find a double on the backline. Zoom to the rescue here. They had lost Twisty quite early, I think, and Zoom says, don't worry boys, I got you.
That was a very, very good fight. With only one ult used, they win the fight cleanly. We should see coming up the Burnt Toasties using their own ults. The grab is obviously huge, if they can get value on it. What I worry is they're going to grab Reinhardt, and Reinhardt is going to hold his shield, and no one's going to die.
Exactly, and he's going to get a beat
Suzu
coming up, Kun, and a Suzu, exactly. So, yeah, could end up being difficult. Phoenix might actually be a critical part of that
big
grab if they need it. Oh, but yeah, Rexu finds that pick, and there you go. Nobody in fact worse than just Ryan. Absolute goose egg, and Rexu drops his wild effect, now isolated, will get healed up by the Kiriko, but unfortunately a little bit lonely there on the front line, and the team immediately beating a hasty retreat here as still frontline fighters, as their name would suggest, carrying this momentum forward.
It's the aggression of that comp. It's just pressing W, using that speed boost, always engaging on the back line. High noon to stabilize is good. Force the enemy back. Oh, and they don't get value out of it. Oh.
Well, they got 2 picks with Cubic at least. And so they use Visor as well. So yeah, that's a lot of value as it turns out at the end. Cubic now gonna do what Swoom did in one of the previous fights and just put the pressure on, get the picks, play so aggressive like the opposing team wants to do, and that's a good momentum breaker. So often you'll see a team pushing through.
They used the high noon, they forced the enemy back, they stabilized a bit, and then they took initiative and they won the fight back. We're gonna see Shatter, which could be massive considering there is no shield on the Burnt Toasties.
Oh, they start with an Anniblade though, looking for picks though, but the beat comes out. Once again, Slay to the rescue. You're going to keep the team very healthy. A nice anti-heal though, helping them get picks off, and one after the other. Players dropping like flies on the side of the front line. So once again, momentum stopped.
That was a good fight, but it was 3 ults. And that's more than half your team's ults. It's expensive, and Frontline fighters still have that Shatter, which can get so much value in Overwatch 2.
It can, but Ryan sometimes has a problem getting to a team fight. But with this Slade on the back, well, look at that, taking a nap. His shield was popped, and all of a sudden he struggles. Needs to be careful. Now going to go forward, and look at that. A triple Shatter over the top. The Kitsune rush as well. Going to help them get these pickles. Perfect play from the Frontline fighters, and they break through that tough defense.
As walking in, pressing Q, finding a lot of value, and that's a team kill. The Burnt Toasties have stabilized, but now the ult economy swing back is coming. They've swapped to their own Reinhardt now, so we're seeing a Reinhardt matchup. Some honorable Ryan fights on King's Row. The Twisties might struggle for healing though, but then on the other hand, the Defect won't have speed boost.
Exactly.
Oh, pin!
Oh, they're trading a couple here. As Swoom dropping low, but he pops the blade. He gets a triple, make it a quad. Eventually, Rexy will take him down, but I rather think Swoom will be happy to throw his life away for that one, as the cart now continues to march forward.
And that's the value of Genji. He is so difficult to shut down.
Oh, what a boop!
Oh no, they recover. Oh, but they boost them off point. That was really good.
Exactly.
That's a really very good push from Frontline fighters. 3 minutes on the clock puts Burnt Toasties under pressure. Frontline fighters really in the driving seat right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've seen throughout this match so far. Of course, it's been even, as we've been saying over and over again, but it always seems like the Frontline fighters have that little bit extra. They always seem to be just a little bit ahead. But three minutes, exactly. 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes and 12 is a little bit more than one fight.
It's a large time bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Will we see the Reinhardt matchup though? Because maybe maybe Burnt Toasties were struggling dealing with that Reinhardt, that aggression from that Reinhardt Lucio comp. We're seeing a Roadhog.
What are your thoughts on the Roadhog? It doesn't feel that hot to me in Overwatch 2 at the moment.
So Roadhog currently in ranked isn't the best because he struggles with Ana and Discord. He gets discorded, he gets melted down, he gets slept, he gets antied, and he just struggles. The thing is, Kiriko has a cleanse.
It's on a 500-minute cooldown though.
It's not that long.
It feels really so long.
Kiriko's cooldowns are very short. A Roadhog going on a flank, taking an off angle, looking for picks, who gets slept, who gets antied, who gets discorded, can be cleansed by a Kiriko who can just teleport anywhere in the map.
Yeah,
so Roadhog can get value, especially with Kiriko in the map. So it'll be interesting to see if a team in this tournament decides to do that.
Yeah,
Widow looking for picks.
Is it? Oh yeah, he's on the hog. He's switched to a bit. Oh my god, not often you see that one. Who's the sniper now? Says Twisty as he finds that kill with the fire strike, and now they can get aggressive. They know one DPS is down. It'll be a quick respawn, but not quick enough to save the team. Phoenix down. They do find Swoon, so that's not bad. But with the late death from actually spoke too soon here. Cubic doing a lot of work here.
Interestingly, we're seeing the pharmacy again, and the pharmacy gave Frontline fighters a lot of issues.
God.
Maybe they're leaning into it, and there we go already. It's getting value but they are backcapping. Come on, Toasty, you can get there.
Backcapping, but this is good for Rexu and Co here. So now they can put pressure. Look at that. Defect. Twisty under pressure. has to get back to his team, but are they going to be able to get back in here? Susie was dropped in the back line there. They're going to come forward here. They got to do it soon, and they do that. So much damage coming through over the skies here, though, and yeah, there goes Josh G. So that means Rexu even freer than he was before. Kiriko down, so any hope of killing the Farah out of the window now with 3 players down. That should be a nice quick cap for the Burnt Toasties, and this is exactly what they need.
It's a very good adjustment from Burnt Toasties. Defect has been struggling to survive on the Zarya, on the Reinhardt, on the Roadhog. Seeing him go to the Wrecking Ball is a very good pick because he's a very survivable hero, and making space for Rexu to just do that.
Exactly.
And Frontline Fighters don't really have a clear answer to that. Sure, we've got Josh Z on the Soldier, but that is him into a 2v1. It's a difficult situation as a solo Soldier without any damage boost. So we'll see if he can live up to that challenge. Defect in the backline, making space, pushing them back. Again, we're seeing, and he doesn't die, which is the big change. Previously, we've seen him do that, run in, and then get picked, and that's putting them at a disadvantage. Whereas now he gets in and he gets out.
Oh, Ultimate's coming through now. Minefield and Blade with the Mercy damage boost over the top of it. So that's a couple of picks here. Ryan low, not dropping it. There we go. But they're getting kills on the other side. So this is pretty tough for the Burnt Toasties. Yeah, exactly.
Which is a massive part of the team's damage gone. Because while Cubic does do a lot of damage, especially with the Blade, he's very low, he gets the health back. Wrecking Ball doesn't do that much damage, he can burst, but it's not a sustained damage.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Pharmacy can get back and actually play a part
in the fight. Cubic needs to get out of here. He's gonna pick one his feet. This Lade tracks him down, and look at where the cart is. That whole time it was Kiriko on the cart pushing it forward, and just didn't push any faster than any other hero. So only halfway now, despite how aggressive they were playing.
It's a very, very messy fight. We saw people on point 2, on point 3, and I think someone was on point A. Playing deathmatch. But that's a huge pick. That means
there's another one.
Yeah,
no GPS
that means that
left.
Rexu is free.
Exactly.
Rexu is now free to do whatever he wants.
And try and get these kills. Suzu goes down. Twisty does have the ultimate here, so if he brings magic out here, he could really help his team come against this team fight. Ooh, Defect over aggressive perhaps once again, dropping low, but the healing is there, and of course, no he doesn't. Josh shuts him down, prevents him from getting out of there. Frontline Fighters may be able to get in and contest the second point, and it looks like they want to do that with the visor, but Rexu gets out of dodge just in the nick of time there. He's going to come over the top. He does have his ultimate as well now. It's not a ton of mitigation. On the other side, Defect with another minefield over the top as he finds Josh G's ultimate, but they cap the point. So all is for naught here on the side of the Frontline Fighters, and Burnt Toasties are doing a great job responding to the push that the Frontline. That
was an exceptionally well played fight by Burnt Toasties. Being without a shield, being able to LOS that visor was really, really well played. Because that visor could have got massive value. We're going to see the barrage. They still have the barrage, which is a big ult. The issue is that obviously, as is known to happen with Farah, when you press Q, you die.
Yeah.
Twisty still has his ultimate, but he is half HP.
But what is Auntie doing here? He's decided he's gonna set up a 1v1 here. 1v1 mid. But it's not 1v1 anymore, and Rexu's like, what's happening, gents? There's action on the front line, and that is teamfight cleaned up with a huge barrage.
It was a massive barrage. We saw Antiablo 1v1ing in the back line, but then Rexu decided to press Q, and he didn't die, which is very important. We are going to see Frontline Fighters already in the time bank.
Josh just falling off the map pretty much by himself there. Quick replay of Auntie sniping. No, undo quickly back to live here. Rexu, so much damage over the top here. Not really able to be contested if Joshi runs off the map by himself like that. And Cubic does end up dropping though, and closing in here. Oh my god, it's late. Oh my god, relax. He needs to be careful not to drop though. Cassalty comes out here, not gonna find anything. Rexu taken down, and that might just spell the end of that. Definitely Mercy dropping as well. ICBM as Zoom looks to get aggressive here and try and clean up, but that's momentum pretty much stopped now.
That was a very good fight. It was looking very, very dangerous for the Frontline Fighters. Burnt Toasties was looking to cap. They have the Blade now as well. They did that without using many ults, which was a massive, massive win. Although, Mines?
Defect finds the tank. Cubic finds Zoom as well. He finds Josh. Josh takes his own life instead of going down to the Blade. And
Josh
though,
off the map again.
To kill Josh. No, he killed himself with the nade. Yeah. Oh, Slade taken down. Now it's Dire Straits. They're going to get the cap here. Nice work from the Burnt Toasties. 2 minutes. Not quite to 3 minutes 12, but Fluffy, you'd be pretty happy with that.
That's a very good response. When you're, they even took some time off of the other team. With their time bank, that was a very, very good response. They had some issues on second, but it was a very good push. I think we're seeing Twisty struggle with the low healing of the Reinhardt, of the Lucio and the Kiriko. You know, he's holding Shadow and he's sitting there at half HP and he can't really do anything. So while the frontline fighters have the speed boost and the aggression of the Lucio, they're not really utilizing it there as well as they have before. So it'd be good to see some aggression from them like we saw in the previous maps.
I think the response from Defect was perfect, though. As you mentioned earlier, the hamster's been making such a big difference. It allows Cubic and Rexu to have so much more space to work with, less pressure on support as well. And you're seeing Zwoom have to respond, you know, for the first time coming off of that Genji onto the Cassidy, trying to help the team deal with Defect on one hand and also, of course, counter the bird in the sky.
I think we've only seen Defect die once on the Wrecking Ball, and that's a massive thing. If your tank is dying less than the opposing tank, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see Frontline Fighters here without the Genji. Zoom on Sombra, who is very strong in her current iteration. That could give massive issues to Defect. Obviously, Sombra a very strong counter to Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Hack not quite as strong as it used to be back in the day in terms of dealing with the Wrecking Ball. Yeah, exactly. But we'll have to see how we can deal with that. Rexy's just like, I'm just going to tank that, don't worry about it.
Survives the fire strike this time.
Yeah, exactly. Zoom looking to find an angle here. He wants to get the hack onto Cubic here. You can't do that from Invis. Oh, Slade. It's his turn to kill Rexy on the Widowmaker now as the charge comes through. Defect under pressure now. Hacked up. Not going to get taken down just yet. The healing is there to keep him healthy. But so far, engagements have been better here for the frontline fighters as they just have the better sustain. Oh, charge comes through. Nice cancel with the hack. Beautiful work from Swoom here on the Sombra as he works his way up towards this EMP. But Rexu in the sky now. Once again, the damage with the hack. He's now a Junkrat in a sense as he just fires rockets in at ground level. Hack has one up, so he can go up when he's ready. But you can see Zoom doing such work on the Sombra here, just putting the pressure on. But when Rex is able to get the damage from the sky, you can see immediately how the advantage flips the other way here. Be careful though. Ooh, Phoenix seems scared not to get taken down on that Mercy. Twisty desperately looking for something here, but Rexy drops first and the EMP over the top to help him secure this. The Shadow committed as well there from Defect, not finding anything. Blade as well, a total disaster for the Bird Toasties. Kitsune
They're missing everything.
They're just throwing everything. They still had one team fight potentially, but I think they felt like if they don't win it now, they're not going to win it at all. Rexu with the ultimate in, not going to find anything. Pops the Shadow, the shield rather, but Twisty finds the kill with the Shadow as well. The Kuma down. The cleanup crew is here, and that's going to be that for this team fight. 12 seconds left on the clock, enough maybe for another team fight, but no, not with late deaths like this. The Genji under pressure, Josh will track him down and take him out. And with 4 seconds left on the clock, that should be it here for the Burnt Toasties. And yes, no progress on their second push.
That was a disaster. It was so winnable and then it wasn't.
It was winnable and then it wasn't, and then it just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah,
the ultis in.
Burnt Toasties probably just needed to take a reset and maybe have someone touch and then take that overtime fight, because they did have the ults, but they kept throwing them ults in a losing situation. And Frontline Fighters just backed up, soaked that pressure, and then used their own ults and won the fight. It was well played by Frontline Fighters, but maybe you think misplayed by Burnt Toasties. Yeah,
especially when Rexy dies like that. I think at that point you see what's happening for maybe you get a return pick, and then but once it's clear, it's going down. It's tickets.
But you can see the strength of the Sombra. It puts so much pressure on tanks. Yeah. The 4-second hack is insanely strong, and Sombra does so much damage. And just even if the hack doesn't last as long, that constant just hack that we saw, hacking the tank, hacking the Pharah, hacking the Genji, just all of it constantly.
And she can do it from relative safety as well.
And while invisible.
Yeah. Of course, she does get revealed a little bit, but still, it's amazing how big of a difference it makes just to be able to not have to commit your invis cooldown to get a hack.
Maybe we're seeing a good adjustment to the Wrecking Ball from Frontline Fighters. That's Sombra getting a lot of value. Although, they're not making it now, though.
Yeah, Defect wasn't on the Wrecking Ball
No.
in
He
anyways.
swapped.
So
He swapped after the Sombra.
he didn't start on the. No, you're right. You are right.
Zoom not finding anything though.
Yeah.
Oh, he's staying on the Widow.
Okay, interesting. Of course, they've got a lot of time here to mess around, and one pick could be exactly what they need. Oh, almost kills a teammate there by shooting the deflect. That would have been unfortunate now as Twisty drops early, so that's a good start for the burnt Toasties here. But can they clean it up? Josh needs to be careful here not to go down, but Swoon gets tracked down. Cubic finds 3. He's picked up the pace here. If you had to pick an MVP from burnt Toasties, Cubic might be my pick. Yeah.
He's played very, very well. That's a really, really good start for the Toasties. They need to keep that momentum. They'll have ult economy now in their favor. They'll have their blade before maybe the visor. They'll also probably have their nano soon, which will be massive.
Damage.
They just can't afford to be picked because one pick and it's over.
Yeah, Defect needs to be careful here. Shield dropping low, Rexu dropping low as well, but they're doing a good job of weathering the storm, but Defect's playing quite an aggressive position here. Charge comes through from Twisty, taken down. Charge through from Defect, a little bit more aggressive here, but they do find the picks. So once again, the frontline fighters have had the better of these the burnt Toasties have had the better of these engagements on this push.
Again, they've been playing that very well, getting those picks, making sure they don't get picked. What we might see happening is frontline fighters are just waiting. They have time. Yeah. They still have 1 minute 40 seconds. They can build their ults and then come in with a big ult fight. That fight's going to be messy because on the other side, burnt Toasties also have a lot of ults. They've been winning fights and they have their ults to use. Here we're going to see
they've committed 2 now. Not finding any picks just yet. Kitsune rush as well. So once again, a big expensive team fight for the burnt Toasties, but this time it will secure them the fight. They need to not lose anybody in their aggression here, and they will do so. So this is very good from the burnt Toasties. We might be looking at a draw here, Fluffy.
That was good. That was really good. The one concern is that they might have over-invested ults. They do still have their Nano Blade, which they're putting all their eggs into. Because what we're going to see now is frontline fighters coming in with a massive, massive ult fight, and they have their beat, which could counter Cubic's Nano Blade. Yeah, so absolutely. It's all on the Nano Blade here. Here we go.
Starting with the Kitsune rush now. They've got the attack visor popped as well. Oh, pin the Defect finds Josh C. So that's one ultimate done and dusted. The Nano Blade over the top. Burnt Toasties have weathered the storm here of the big ultimate fight so far. They can just get this clean up. 2 players down. The Shatter committed as well. Not even gonna pop out, and that might just be that, Fluffy.
It might be. That was a massive, massive pin from Defect. It was that could be a I don't want to say map drawing pin because the blade was counted. Oh, but Cubic falls.
Cubic does fall, but they've got the Shatter here. Swoon taking a nap now. He has switched over to the Junkrat. Just wants to pump the damage through. Ooh, looking to get through the shield Defect. Oh, just need to kill to see. Oh, space opens up. He pops it. It's huge. So many down, but Swoon, he just popped the heal max as that came down. Joshy does drop though. Defect charging through. He can't be healed there. Can they clean up the squishies on the front line here? Time will tell. Defect gets a better trade, and that spells the end of that. Attack visor as well to help clean up. And the burnt Toasties finally they find something here. We get our first draw, Fluffy, in our first game.
You know, we thought we might miss 2 CP, but we still have the draws. That was exceptionally well played by the burnt Toasties. And yes, it's unfortunate they didn't get the win for it, but it was exceptionally well played. They played their ult economy super well. They won that fight investing heavy, yes, but they still kept their Nano Blade. And then we did see, like I said earlier, those individual plays coming out. We saw that pin onto the visor, and then we saw the blade get a lot of value. That was exceptionally well played.
Hopefully we see more of that going forward, because I think these teams are evenly matched enough that even with a draw, 3-0's not
it would not
a good
be a fair
reflection.
result. That was maybe burnt Toasties have warmed up a bit now. Maybe
we can see them finding different rhythms and different options. I think the Wrecking Ball from Defect is amazing because it forces Woom off the Genji.
Yes.
Either he goes into the Sombra. The Sombra's great, don't get me wrong, but it seems like frontline fighters are doing a lot with playing behind that Genji. Well, not behind it, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, we're seeing maybe some head games between the two teams. You know, Defect is struggling, so he goes over to the Wrecking Ball, which finds a lot of value. So we see an adjustment from frontline fighters with the picking of the Sombra, but then Defect struggles into the Sombra, so he adjusts. But again, it's already working because it forces frontline fighters off of that Genji. So a back and forth of hero swaps. A meta is being found.
Yeah. Yeah, our Kiriko meta here.
The Kiriko Cup meta.
Kiriko Cup meta. I suppose we're kind of forcing a meta because Kiriko has to be played.
Yeah.
That is something.
Well, not
what
a true.
would the...
Sorry,
go for it.
I say this isn't a true reflection of the meta, but the Kiriko Cup meta with the forcing of the hero.
Yes, I think it's interesting to see what's developing. What do you think would be the primary support duo if Kiriko was not mandated?
If not mandated, the one problem is we don't know because Kiriko is such a question mark. In competitive Overwatch at the moment, we're seeing D.Va and Zarya being exceptionally strong. D.Va is in a very, very strong state right now, as well as Zarya. We're also seeing a lot of Sojourn because she has sustained damage but also pick. She's like a soldier Widowmaker combo. We're seeing Genji, we're seeing Tracer. Tracer is very strong. Like with Genji, the lack of CC makes Tracer very, very difficult to deal with. A high mobility hero that does high damage. Support-wise, a lot of Lucio is being played because like Slade is playing him, he's almost another DPS. Yes. And at the same time, he offers peel to whoever needs it. You know, you can boot people away, you can heal people who need it.
In lieu of the off-tank from before.
Exactly. We're seeing a lot of Baptiste, who has that ability to look after himself with his immortality field and his shift, which got a rework, which makes it very strong at the moment. He also, like with the Lucio, is another DPS. A good Baptiste player should have a lot of damage output and a lot of healing output. Ana is being played a little bit, but the problem with Ana is that D.Va is strong. Zenyatta has also been playing a little bit, but again, the problem with Zen is that Tracer is strong. So dive comps are quite strong, so we're seeing a decent amount of Baptiste.
Okay.
We don't really know where Kiriko would fall into that, because she's yet to be unlocked in rank, so we've yet to see people really experiment with her properly. We've seen people trying her and having fun with her, but not really try-harding with her.
Yeah. In a competitive setting.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we're just... and we're back to throw to a break in 2 seconds. So we'll be right back, guys. 2 minutes. We'll see you soon. Well, our first series of the Kiriko Cup nets us our first draw as well. I think reflective of how equally matched our two teams are. Here are the Burnt Toasties versus the Frontline Fighters. My name is San Felix and I'm joined, of course, by Fluffy. And so far, it's been an awesome and pretty even game.
Pretty even. The scoreline doesn't reflect how close this has been. Every round, maybe with the exception of Push. Push was a bit one-sided, but the Control and then now King's Row was very, very close. And we've seen some great adjustments by both teams, responding to the other team, playing back and forth with each other.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and of course, as we were expecting, a lot of that centered around the tank play. With only one tank in Overwatch 2, what you pick and how you play on that hero is critical in Overwatch 2. But we will be moving over to Dorado now, another old favorite for Overwatch 1 players. And what do you think we're going to see on Dorado?
The thing about Dorado is high ground is king. On point A, there is a lot of high ground that defenders can abuse. On point 2, there is a lot of high ground that defenders can abuse. And on point 3, there is a lot of high ground that defenders can abuse. So it'll be interesting to see if the attackers respond with some kind of mobile tank and mobile DPS to try to take high ground off of the opposition. Because if the defenders get entrenched on that high ground, it can be very difficult to dislodge them, and we can see a lot of point A holds. We might see a lot of D.Va. D.Va is very good at contesting high ground. We might see Monkey because maybe the players are more comfortable on Monkey as a solo tank. Yeah. We might see some Wrecking Ball. Defect has been already picked Wrecking Ball once. It'll be interesting.
We might see that Pharah as well.
We might see the Pharah.
And that seems to be quite a critical pick for Rexu and the Burnt Toasties.
Pharah is also very strong on this map. She can be played very effectively. There is a lot of cover for the Pharah in the sky. And Rexu has been getting a lot of value on the Pharah, putting Josh and Twisty under a lot of pressure on the Soldier and the D.Va respectively. Yeah,
absolutely. So we'll see how the teams respond to what we've been seeing so far. I hope we get to see more of that Wrecking Ball. That felt like quite a nice adjustment that Defect made, and also allowed him to play a style that he seemed to be quite comfortable on, of getting hyper aggressive and kind of playing a more solo style where he gets into the backline, creates chaos. We're not going to see that Monkey though from Twisty, at least for the moment. Defect, as we expected, it's the hardest decision to make.
It might be, the Wrecking Ball might be more comfortable for him as well, because Wrecking Ball, even in Overwatch 1, was already almost a solo tank. He was played as a solo. D.Va, who was often played with Wrecking Ball, and Zarya weren't they weren't that involved in the Wrecking Ball's job in their life. So maybe Defect is more comfortable with that, because a lot of tank players are having to adjust how they play tank to playing as a solo tank.
Well, he has to pick something, Fluffy, one way or another. I think a hero is better than no hero, in my humble opinion.
Okay. Well, that might answer it.
I was going to say, this is a bold strategy from the Burnt Toasties here. So we can take a look at their opponents.
They're just slow. There we go.
Okay. Do we need a restart here? If they don't want to restart, let's not. We are on a bit of a clock now.
He seems to be back.
So we might get a remake here. Now's a good time. And with 2 seconds left, I think it's definitely necessary.
Yeah. No, the spawn doors haven't opened, so a restart is no harm, no foul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Effect just AFK for a second.
A little bit sluggish there in terms of, I don't know, joining the game, picking his hero.
Things sorted now.
Did we see the Pharah there from Rexu?
We did, yes. Okay. That is as we expected. This is a very strong map for her. They've been getting a lot of value on her, so maybe this is the pick they need to start the reverse sweep.
I personally think it's the hero they've been having the most successful, just because it forces a lot of attention off the rest of the team. You can't ignore the Pharah. Especially the way Rex is playing it, finding so many picks, so much damage.
Yeah,
it also allows Phoenix to play her most comfortable hero as well, so
although a lot of benefits. We did see Phoenix really popping off on the Ana.
That is true.
Multiple sleep darts on multiple ults.
That is very true. We do see the monkeys here, though.
We see the monkeys, like we said. This is necessary for high ground. As we see the Pharah and the monkey holding high ground, controlling red building, and we see on the other side, the Genji and the Kiriko taking stage around them.
Played briefly on the Zenyatta there. I thought we might see something different, but no. Of course, on his trusty Lucio, as the high ground pressure does come through. But Phoenix dropping first. That's the worst pick you could lose in terms of the Burnt Toasty side now. Looks like they just want to pressure on the point here. Josh, he needs to be careful. Monkey dropping super low here. Twisty, but not going to drop down. So, I was just about to say they're weathering the storm so nicely, but no. Rexu dropping as well. Cubic on the front line. You just got to get out of here now, I think, if you're the Burnt Toasties.
Yeah, that was a massive play by Josh C. Although Defect, hello?
Okay.
Finds
Josh.
2. Can he get out as well? He's
And the
full
respawns will be coming through quite soon. Yeah, full HP, 50% to his ulti. Just going to put the pressure on the backline here. And he's going to contest cart. So this might be pretty good recovery here from the Burnt Toasties now. Doing so much damage to that Genji. Won't find the pick, but look who's back. The birds in the sky. Rexu and Phoenix back to wreak havoc over the top now. As we can see, Rexu, look at the damage. But Defect, this time the first to drop. And that's going to allow Twisty to get very aggressive onto the backline. And yeah, Phoenix dropping soon after. Unfortunately, Burnt Toasties just losing heroes at the wrong time here. Takuma, Cubic all dropping. And that's going to be momentum carried through from the frontline fighters.
Yeah, it was a massive pick by Josh C, finding the Mercy. But then they didn't really capitalize on it. Defect came out with a big individual play and found the tube, and then they stabilized, but then he got picked again, and now we're seeing his primal. Can he do anything with the barrage?
That's Rexu with the triple kill. Barrage gonna look to clean up now. Give him the 5. Stop shooting. Let him get it. It's the rampage. Rexu cleans it up, but that was all thanks to Defect on the front line.
That was really well played. That was a very good barrage. Defect comes in, stalls the cart, uses the primal, makes some space. They don't see the fire coming in, and it's a great barrage, and then just cleaning up. And we have our first 5k, I think?
I think so, yeah.
Well,
at the very least, the first one that I've been paying attention to.
Saw a 4k earlier, I know.
Yeah, we did.
But here comes the blade.
Yeah, let's see if
can he find the Mercy?
Yes, he does. Woom finds that pick and look for the Farrier, gets both birds out of the sky now. You need to follow it up with a few picks onto the rest. There's Defect dropping low now. Kiriko just doesn't have the healing to keep him healthy, although as I say that, Defect doing a good job juking around, but Cubic drops, Kuma drops. Defect will end up being the last to go down, but heroic plays from Rexu and Defect not enough in that last fight.
That was a really good blade. With just a naked blade soloing the pharmacy. That was exceptionally well played. Now we're seeing Zoom taking this high ground, trying to control this high ground so the enemy can't control it themselves. He knows how important this high ground is for control of the second point. And we're seeing a visor on the flank.
Oh, nice back visor. He gets Takuma on the Kiriko. That's a lot of healing out of the fight. Phoenix as well, both healers down. That should be that. Defect gonna try and pressure the soldier here, but he's all by his lonesome pretty much. They have taken on Auntie on the other side, but they should still have enough power here on the side of the frontline fighters to clean things up, and they do just that.
The pick on Diablo isn't that important, especially with how mobile Kiriko is. She can teleport very quickly to her team, unless they take this fight very fast.
And that looks like what they want to do. Primal Rage at the ready for Twisty here. He's trying to get that Kiriko down, but we'll pull back here. Kiriko went forward there. But nice. No! Twisty dropped. Not sure it did so much damage. We seemed okay, and now the blade comes forward here. There is a Mercy as well. Oh, yeah, Volk as well, and that's going to be a double. Cubic cleaning up, make it a quad.
That was a very important fight for the Burnt Toasties. They've stabilized, and now they have the high ground. Twisty unable to get his primal off. I don't know if he wanted to, but he could have survived. We're gonna see another blade coming up, which has got a lot of value before, and we also have the beat. On the other hand, though, Barrage is they're looking to Barrage. They're hiding for Barrage.
Yeah, they're hiding on top of the arch. They're looking for the Barrage. Soldiers around that alley on the left. He might move. On the left. I'll move around that way. And be careful not to look. Here comes the Barrage over the top. There we go. Immediately finds Josh. Finds Woom as well. Both DPS down. And Rexu healthy as you like as he picks up another one. Oh, we're going to see another 5k. No. Takuma says, I'll have one of those. Thank you very much. And that is once again Burnt Toasties controlling the high ground perfectly.
Again, this is where we see high ground is so important. The Pharah, the Monkey, the Genji being able to drop into the team and then jump away. It means you survivability is so much easier. Maybe we didn't need to see the Kiriko, the Kitsune rush. The fight was probably already won, but better to win than better to use an ult and win.
Oh, Mercy, nice movement from Phoenix there. Manages to get away from the Dragon Blade, and Zoom kind of flailing his pool noodle around now, not quite sure what to do with himself. It's the Kuma drop in the backline though, so Slade finds that pick, has the beat at the ready should they need it. Zoom drops on the front line. They might need to commit more here to actually push this one through on the side of the front line. Fighters, Cubic does end up dropping as Twisty puts the pressure onto Defect here on the front line. No ultimate ready for Defect. Is that an echo I'm seeing? Yes, it is. Okay, interesting. I haven't seen that hero today.
Okay.
What is that hero? It is an echo, right?
It's an echo.
You said that, and I was like, wait, is that not echo? Am I so out of touch? But still, quite a long, drawn-out fight here. Rexu, though, he's got an ultimate at the ready. He's taken down Auntie. Can he find space? Does he need it? He's taken down 2 now. Both healers out of the fight, and he's once again gonna, not single-handedly, but at least, you know, help push the team back here. Twisty still on the front line, and he's going to try and back out here. Can they find any picks? They find Josh. Can they find more? Echo needs to be careful here. Can Rexy hit the shots? Not quite, but they found Twisty. So frontline fighters really struggling to push through.
What we're seeing is an adjustment by the frontline fighters. Echo in a neutral 1v1 against Afara has the advantage. Zoom can take high ground and deal with that Afara. But whether or not he can do it into the pharmacy is another question. And we're seeing, again, that barrage is online.
But I mean, what he's doing, he's putting a lot of Rexy's attention at the very least. And Josh D gonna pop his ultimate here, gonna try and find some value with attack fires. They're not finding anything yet, making space, I suppose. But here comes the Justice from above. Finds Twisty, the beat just a little bit too late, but he's solo. Rexu, but Cubic, he's got the ultimate here. The Dragon Blade to help clean things up. And this has been a clinic on how to control the high ground here by the Burnt Toasties.
Yeah, they played that really well. We saw frontline fighters win their fights, but as soon as Burnt Toasties stabilized, as soon as they took that high ground, the frontline fighters couldn't get them off it. Again, it was a lot of Farah dominance, or Farah abuse, as some people would call it.
Certain individuals might categorize it.
But again, the Burnt Toasties, they couldn't deal with the high ground control by the Farah, and by just the team dropping in and then jumping away. It's difficult to kill something when they can use their movement abilities to run away from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see now, of course, more responses out of both teams here. How do they deal with what the opponent is throwing at them? And we'll see that in just a second here. Josh, he seems to be fairly comfortable on the soldier. Doesn't seem to want to flex much. Yeah, exactly. He followed me on Twitter the other day, and I peeped his profile, so I might sound like a bit of a weirdo here, but I'm pretty sure he comes from Counter-Strike. So he followed me, okay.
Sound Phoenix?
I didn't know who he was, so I checked.
Should we be worried?
You should be, but not about that specifically.
Okay.
So I think that would explain why he's so comfortable on the soldier.
That would explain that. It's going to be interesting
on the Sombra here, though.
It's going to be interesting to see. Speaking of Josh C on the soldier, he's going to have high ground now, and so he's going to be in that strong position that we saw the Burnt Toasties in. Whether Burnt Toasties can dislodge them from that high ground is another question.
We will have to see. Of course, they've got the best hero, perhaps, to do it in the form of Rexus Farah. We've seen how much damage you can do. Oh my god, Twisty dropping so low. Has to leap on out of there. And you can see the high ground is not quite as safe as you might want it to be when you've got this Farah coming over the top. Every shot finding pay dirt. And just to be careful not to drop Defect. Hacked up here. Needs some healing. It does get it now.
Rexu goes down.
Rexu goes down, but Cubic finds Twisty. So a relatively even trade, in my humble opinion. This person who doesn't know what they're talking about. But Cubic gonna make it less even as he pushes on through the hack onto the Mercy. But they won't find the kill. Or will they? Slade desperate to find something for his team here, but he won't do so. At least not just yet. As Auntie now in the backline going down. It's just Slade left for healing, and as you can see, not a teammate in sight here for the Lucio player. He's instead going to play like a tank here in the backline as Zoom looks to find picks off the front, but no, Cubic tracks him down, takes him out as Defect cleans up the point here. So still momentum for the Burnt Toasties. Every team fight I watch, Fluffy, the reverse sweep seems more and more likely.
It is. They're getting more and more confident. They're finding how they want to play these fights, and they're forcing Zoom off of the Genji, which has been a real issue for them. Josh C goes down again. Which is,
Defect needs to be careful here. Slade once again making a nuisance of himself on point, but Defect on the job there will take him down. Twisty on point as well, but also not long for this world. They're scrambling to try and buy some time here on the point, but it's not going to be enough. And Burnt Toasties just in firm control of the map so far.
Yeah, it's a difficult fight to take, that recontest fight, because you're in an awkward position to take that fight.
They spotted Zoom, but they've lost him now again.
Oh, this could be good.
Ooh, can you find
This
the kill
1v1
there?
is... Oh no, he's not going to take it.
It's awkward when he's on top of the cart because you can just drop down the other side and be safe.
Yeah, it's really now on the Burnt Toasties to try to take this high ground and control it, just like we saw the Frontline fighters do on their own defense. Well, other way around, sorry.
Rexu, try to get over there. He finds the angle. He's going to go for the ulti here. Oh, hacked up straight away. The EMP cancelling that. Perfect play from Zoom there. Do they have enough to clean things up here on the front line? Zoom dropping late. Sorry, he does get killed. Cubic finds that. They find another here. Not enough in the bag. The EMP was so good, but the damage wasn't quite there to find the picks afterwards. And this might just be it here, Fluffy.
It might be it.
Gets aggressive.
Takuma is rolling the cart in. Zoom's going to be able to contest, and Lucio is coming.
You're taking the gat out here. Phoenix not playing around as they do end up getting the point. And that's going to be Dorado going the way of the Burnt Toasties. So not the 3-0 we were afraid of, but now I'm more afraid of load shedding. Load shedding.
The real villain.
The real villain.
Yeah, we're seeing the response. Forcing Zoom off of that Genji seems to be working for them. Forcing this Pharah even into unfavorable situations maybe is the solution for them. Yeah,
the 5k, very nice.
5k. It's very, very good. I don't believe I know what our next map is going to be. It should be Control. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, Nepal's the tiebreaker, right? So it's Busan, Ilios, one of those two, I'm guessing, since Lee Jung was first.
Yeah.
And I mean, both of those maps, Farah can find a lot of value in, Ilios especially, obviously, but Busan is not a bad map for that. But of course, they don't get to pick here. It's frontline fighters, and based on their playstyle, what would you be picking?
So frontline fighters, it kind of depends. Yeah, they have picked Busan.
Yeah.
It partly depends on if they want to pick to their own strengths or want to pick to the opponent's weaknesses. If they want to avoid the Pharah, which they've been struggling with, then maybe Busan is the right pick for them.
Yeah.
If they want to play to their own strengths, these hyper-aggressive comps, maybe again Busan is the answer to them. Mecha base favors those Lucio-style rush comps.
Yeah.
Although also no Ilios, which means no booping into well, which is a bit sad to see.
Yeah. Slade has to pick his poison. If he gets the nice boops, or he actually contributes in other ways.
Maybe Busan is just the best pick for them, playing to their own strengths and to the opponent's weaknesses. Because on downtown, Pharah can struggle because it's so open. It's a sniper's paradise with the high grounds on opposite sides of the map. On Mecha base, the Pharah struggles to get height because it's a closed off space, and also those rush comps really, really work. And then on Sanctuary, Pharah can work, but again, it has a low skybox and control of that. You know, the Pharah can't really take those angles like she can on other maps, like Ilios.
We'll be starting on Sanctuary here, so we'll see just how much Rexu wants to force the Pharah here. You suggest that it might be worth forcing, even if it's not ideal, and I think I completely agree with that. Just because we can see how it complements his team's playstyle and really stymies the ability to frontline fighters to play their style.
Yeah, it really enables them, and it forces Zoom off of that Genji, which has at times been just.
Well, we say that, but he can also stay on the Genji and try and blade them out of the sky.
Yeah, he did do that once. And yeah, we are going to see the Pharah. And the Genji.
Yeah, I mean, Cubic has been a staple on that Genji now, this whole series.
He has played nothing else, I believe.
Yes, I think that's right. I can't think of anything else he's played.
But we're seeing Zoom on the Genji as well. So maybe it is, and the divas from both teams. So maybe it is just going to be the press W comp.
Maybe it is. We'll see. I like the diva here as a counter to the Pharah a little bit as well. The D matrix and being able to pressure is quite nice. Says we'll see. I might have liked to see Defect on the monkey again, though. I felt like he was getting great value out of that hero, but we'll see what they can get done here. As they move in here, immediately you can see the damage, the pressure onto Rex in the sky now. He needs to be careful, and you can see the difference the diva makes. You can't just fire in and do damage every single time. She can block a lot. She can mitigate a ton of damage with the D matrixes. Pressure is coming through anyway. He's looking for the pick on his Slade in the background, but he's not going to find it just yet. With the damage boosted rockets now. Better positioning here on the point for the Burnt Toasties, but a lot of pressure coming through. Needs to be careful not to get taken down. does Woom here. But okay, they've forced it forward now. But there we go. Cubic finds an opening pick onto Slade, looking for more now. Josh C under pressure in the backline. Cubic, will he find this pick? It looks pretty good. There it is, as they get picks on the backline as well. And momentum well and truly flipped on its head here, Fluffy.
Yeah, we already seen, keep in mind, Frontline Fighters have won a control already. And so maybe these aggressive comps that like to play suit control better. Control is quite a momentum map, so these spam comps of these fire comps might just not suit how the map's playing.
Twisty, how did he really lose his pick? He also lost in the previous fight.
That's a massive pick for them.
He dies right at the beginning of this one. That is an absolute disaster. They won't need to commit anything. They need to be careful not to get picked more here. We saw this from the Frontline Fighters actually in the previous control map. And Blade comes out here. Cubic gonna be kept healthy by Phoenix. Not finding any value out of that Blade, so perhaps not ideal. But they got a lot of damage coming in over the sky.
If he'd got value with that Blade, that would have been a really good Blade. But he didn't, so it puts them in an awkward situation now of not having that powerful ult.
Kitsune Rush and self-destruct popped here. Oh, Rex, who tracks down Josh. Nice shot to clean him up there, and that might be exactly what they need just to keep the trickle going out here. Zoom gets aggressive here. The beat gonna keep him healthy, and finding 2 picks here. Cubic and Takuma going down. So Zoom, he's the can opener that's opened up the defensive line of the Burnt Toasties. Rexu isn't down, but this is often the best way to deal with the Pharah. Deal with the team and clean the Pharah up last, but the barrage, no! Zoom says, I've got one of those as well. Sends the rockets right back at him, and Rexu does end up going down. An expensive fight to end up losing here, Fluffy.
Very expensive, but on the other hand, they have had point control this entire time.
Oh yeah,
and maybe I don't think we're going to see them stall to 99. But this puts Burnt Toasties in a situation where they can lose a few fights. They can take fights, build their ult economy, and then hit hard when they want to. Because now they have the initiative. They have 93%. Frontline Fighters have to be very good with their ult economy. They have Visor, they have Bomb, they have Kitsune Rush almost. And they're engaging with Bomb.
Here comes Bomb. Pops up the little tablet in the middle there. Doesn't find anything as you say. But Josh G does. The rocket takes out Cubic. So DPS now a little bit less here. Rex is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And Takuma goes down. That might just be the end of this. They only really committed to self-destruct. So a very lean fight for the Frontline Fighters, at least so far. But looks like they're still kind of milling about here at Burnt Toasties. They might be better served just backing out and regrouping. But Josh C, they've now forced out the attack visor as he looks to get a couple of picks here.
They're getting late picks. This is not the worst for Frontline Fighters. If you use an ult like that in a situation and it doesn't find value, it can be bad because now you don't have that ult. But if you find the value and you get those late picks all the time, you're building percent. And you're getting closer and closer to that 99 fight.
Yeah, and they are on 60% now. Oh, Rexu, Auntie followed him up and got the kill there, but Defect is back with a double Slade. And Josh taken down by the self-destruct. Can they clean up the rest here? They should be able to. There goes the Diva. Swim with the ulti. He's going to try and bring things back here for his team. So far, it's pretty good, you have to say, but can they clean him up here? Cubic dropping low. He doesn't seem to have the healing here. The sustain.
Down.
Yeah, so that was perfect from them. Now Cubic though with the ultimate, can he find anything on low HP? He's just gonna go forward. He gets laid. Can he find anyone else? The soldier, the Genji dropping low, Zoom under pressure. Great
very
from
well
Cubic. He finds it. The point is even now, but firmly in control of this team fight is the Burnt Toasties. The Diva drops on the front line, and they just clean up the baby Diva there. Hannah Song. Not long for this world as Kiriko under pressure now. The point has been flipped. 97, 98, 99. Will they get the touch? No, they won't. The lead will go the way of the Burnt Toasties.
And that was worst case scenario for Frontline Fighters. They took this long, expensive ult fight, and then they lost it. And then the Burnt Toasties came back with their own ults and won. And then, yeah, it was a difficult situation for Frontline Fighters after being down for so long of the map, having to win all those fights. But Burnt Toasties played that really well. They just took those fights, they lost them, yes, but they built their ults and they came back and they won the fight when it was important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could stand to see maybe a teensy bit more discipline from both teams in terms of knowing when to engage and when to not engage. But of course, it's the nature of a tournament like this. These aren't battle hard and 5-man squads. These are
these are people who got grouped together 3 hours ago.
Exactly. So you expect to see a little bit of sloppiness, but I mean, I'm impressed with the quality of play we've seen so far. Absolutely. And we do see this Tracer now that you mentioned a little bit ago. And
interestingly, we're losing the Pharah.
Yeah, interesting, absolutely. But Rexu feels like this is the pick that's going to get him value, and so far he's doing a ton of damage here. The Ryan having a difficult time standing on the front line, but they're not finding any picks just yet. Rexu needs to be careful if they get defect out of mech, so that's a bit of a problem. But can they get any more out of that? Defect does end up going down, so Rexu dropping as well all of a sudden. With the tank down, the floodgates open, and the heroes start dropping like flies.
So we're going to see an interesting matchup here. Oh, we are going to see the Reinhardt swap and the Hanzo swap. I was about to say an interesting matchup, but now we're going to see something more similar. We're going to see Twisty being very aggressive with Slade on the Lucio, and we're going to see Defect being more stable. We've seen this before. It'll be interesting if it goes any differently.
Raw shield damage though with the Hanzo is going to be much greater, I think, for the frontline fighters here. So, for the Burnt Toasties. So that might be what they're leaning on. And there we go, Twisty. He will drop first. Your speed is nothing when you've got so much damage in your face. Oh, Defect with the big shot. Wait, he was not. What? He was on the D.Va, wasn't he?
He swapped.
Yeah, but that means he just built ulti in like 2 seconds.
Yes, he did.
That is crazy. Okay.
Although that being said, you do keep 30% of your ult charge.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is true. I was like, oh my god, that is insane. And it's still pretty insane, to be fair. But the cleanup is here. Cubic pops his ulti, and I assume he's going to keep him healthy for a little bit longer. But no, eventually Auntie will drop. But frontline fighters now on the point with a lot more heroes, and all of a sudden, a few key picks, and it all flips on its head. Rex needs to be careful here.
That was a bad fight to lose for the Burnt Toasties and a very good fight to win for Frontline Fighters, because there was ult investments from both teams, and now we're seeing an ult advantage.
Nano Shadow, no, taken down. Defect finds that pick with the help of the Nano boost as they look to clean things up, but they're losing players on the backline here. Josh and Zoom working together to take down a couple of Burnt Toasties players, and it's not looking good for that. The pin onto Slade, but not enough. Or maybe Defect still milling about at the backline somewhere. Josh C.
He's got no healing though. He is.
Oh! He doesn't need it with the shatter. Defect, the one-man army team. Where are you? I need assistance. Auntie gonna try and bust his old friend up here, but no. Defect slaps back, and now the team's here. The charge through onto the Reinhardt. Defect all by his lonesome for so much of that. Carves his way through the frontline fighters, and the true frontline fighter shows himself.
Now it's interesting because now we have the exact same situation we had last map, but just the other way around.
Yeah.
We have the frontline fighters in control, 96%, but they have to, and they can take their time, build ults, and come back together. It's really on the Burnt Toasties to have a
goodness.
The anti and the dash.
And the Kitsune, that's the opposing Kitsune Rush, even worse. And the Dragons. So much damage. Cubic picks himself a quick triple slash.
That was exceptionally well played. But we're going to have to see more of that. This is the thing. It's now on Burnt Toasties to build their ults and have disciplined fights. Like you were saying, maybe some players aren't having that much discipline because of the nature of this tournament. Here's the Blade.
Comes the Blade. Doesn't find anything. Shadow on the front line, but Zoom in the back. Uncontested, finding so much damage, but Big Boy Defect is here, but he's lost so many team fights. One swing. Oh no, Zoom's up to full HP now, so they're chasing down. Cubic just off the map there, no? Yeah, he is, okay. That might just be the end of this one.
It might be. It's maybe Rexu can touch. He swapped to Tracer. I think he will get the touch.
Yes, he does.
Has got the touch. But no. Phoenix goes down. She
Phoenix
almost had Nano as well.
She was pretty tired. She self-medicated there, unfortunately. As Rexu goes down as well on the point now. So they're coming through. Cubic Blade finds one. Can they find any more? This might just be what they need to turn it around. He finds two. No DPS in the mix now for the frontline fighters as Defect joins the play with a charge once again. Can they clean up his low HP? Needs to be careful. There's still nice headshot. Can they find the kill? Doesn't need to just yet. Needs to heal. There we go. Keep him healthy. Defect is the main man on the front line here, and they've actually done it, Fluffy. What a retake.
That was a couple of really good plays. Firstly, Rexu getting the touch on the Tracer, and then stalling for long enough for Cubic to come back with the Blade, and Cubic getting value on his Blade. Although, they did have to use ults, and the point flipped. So now, again, we're back in that situation of frontline fighters being able to take their time and build their ults.
Well, I mean, they've only got 30%, so it's not that much time. Rexy
No.
needs to be careful, does get out of here. Just in the nick of time with the Infect dropping first on the front line.
Great
The 1v1 in the back line, they kill each other. Joshi
Josh!
cannot keep his feet on dry land here as he yeets himself into the drink, not for the first time this series, but there's so many players down on the side of Burnt Toasties. It is going to be the point flipped and immediate cap for the frontline fighters.
A really back and forth point. Maybe the Pharah is the answer. The first map we've seen without the Pharah, and Frontline Fighters couldn't take it back. But it is far closer than we've seen before.
Yeah, winning
It all comes
Sanctuary
down to this.
looks so key now when you think about that Pharah matchup, because we knew Mecha Base was going to be a tough place to run the Pharah, and they didn't even go for it. So now they can get value out of it.
And it's on the Burnt Toasties, because if they lose this, it's over. They have to win this point.
Yeah, if they win this though, game 5, reverse sweep on the
They have to win. They have to win everything.
Exactly.
Frontline Fighters are still in driving seat. Although if they do win this, Burnt Toasties, I mean, it does put a little bit of pressure on Frontline Fighters mentally. You can feel that pressure of you've lost 2 maps in a row, and now it's stressful.
And drew a third when you had 3 minutes to catch the first point. So they're under pressure here. We'll see. Oh, the great charge rack. Can they take the monkey down? Not quite yet. A good Suzu going to keep everyone healthy. Defect dropping low.
Defect's going down. Ooh.
Nice healing coming out there from both of his healers, but you can see the effect that has. Ryan dropping so low. Phoenix had to change where her attention was, and Rexy drops in the meantime. Zoom does go down, so the respawns, they need to be careful here, but that's control taken by Frontline Fighters now.
It's control taken by Frontline Fighters, and we're going to see the swap from Defect. He swapped off the Reinhardt and onto the D.Va. Interesting swap. He can control high ground. He can be very aggressive with this, more so than with the Reinhardt, because he doesn't have that healing or that Lucio to help him out.
Oh, Zlade taken down here. Rexu getting nice and aggressive to take care of the pesky Lucio. And now they're going to clean up Twisty. They do just that. So only 12 seconds on the clock, and it looks like they're going to take this fight back nice and quick here. Josh C. all by his lonesome here on the back, though. Who is this? Zoom on the front line. Cubic needs to be Zoom rather. Needs to be a little bit careful now. Moves on to point. He's looking for a target. He can't find it. He's get taken down. 24 on the clock now. This is a long draw to Josh C. once again out of here. Rip. As Rexu cleaning up from the sky. Twisty commits in just a little bit late here. A little bit more alt charge going the way of the Burnt Toasties, but that's about the best you could ever ask for.
Yeah, losing someone that early, it's you've lost the fight at that point, and I think Frontline Fighters recognized that, and they just decided, you know what, we're just going to stall, we're going to die one by one on point, and we're going to go next. And that's what they're doing. They're going to have Visor soon, they're going to have Blade soon, which is actually going to have a lot of ults. All their ults are going to come up online at the same time.
Look how much damage is coming through here. There comes the Blade though. Kitsune Rush as well, but Auntie taken down straight away. The Blade with Rex's damage over the top. Is there anything here? No.
And they're going to get the res.
Res onto the Kuma, so full complement of healers now for our blue squad as the Burnt Toasties look to push forward. Gonna try and clean up Zoom. No, it is Zwoomy, actually. They can try and clean up, and they will do this, that, and now we see the strength of the Pharah controlling the skies here, Fluffy.
Yeah. It's difficult in this situation. This is where Pharah can be very strong on this map, because there is, if you think about it, 3 approaches into this map, and Pharah can very easily control them because the approaches aren't that wide. It's a lot of spam damage. Josh comes up big.
Rez is coming out. Can't she get it? No, she can't. She does end up going down. So Rexu is back, but he doesn't have the mercy anymore. He's gonna pop the ulti. Says, "Get out of here, Slade, please." Great work from Defect, keeping him healthy with the Matrix, I think, over the top. But he does end up going down in the end here. A lot of damage. Josh finds the Kuma. Can they find more? Yes, they find Effect. Just the baby D.Va left now on point. Are they stalling him? Do they know they don't have point? Okay, they do end up taking him down, and that is that. So nice.
That was a great play by Josh, and then by Slade to kill the Lucio, the Mercy while she was rezzing. Going forward, we're pretty bare on ults. We only have beat. Oh, Josh goes down. Rexu gets value.
Nice work from him now. He's got free reign of the skies. Going to put the pressure on the team here. Takuma, half HP. Needs to be a little bit careful here, but they're looking for picks here. That's a low HP, but the beat going to keep their team pretty healthy here, at least for a little bit. Nice work from Slade once again. Coming to the rescue here. But can they
But it means the Blade is going to get value. They're not going to have beat to respond to Blade, which is about to come online.
Yeah, it is. Primal Rage though. Twisty going to try and find value before, but Cubic, he's finding value in the backline. Blade is dead. Oh, sorry, no, he has the Blade, so he doesn't even need Blade here. That's even worse, Fluffy, than what you suggested. Even worse. The problem. Yeah, he looks to trash on Josh C, not going to overextend, instead coming back to deal with Twisty. 77% on the clock here, but back in control of Burnt Toasties once again.
We are now in last fight territory. Frontline Fighters must win this fight, or it is over for this map. And Cubic has the Blade, and Rexu has the Barrage. This is a bad situation for Frontline Fighters. It's now on the individuals to make plays.
Oh, here comes the Blades. Lane, take it out straight away. Zoom down as well. Cubic saw the chance. He went straight for it. Suzu gonna keep Antioblo alive, and he does end up finding that kill. But the point is where the action is, and Twisty taking down the Sprinkler from the low ground here. Gonna try and find some picks. Rexu picks up his third, and once again, off the back of this Rexu Pharah, they will be able to take this map. And that is it in just a second. There we go. The reverse sweep is on, ladies and gentlemen.
Reverse sweep is on, and load shedding is coming.
Oh yeah. Let's see, boys. I might abandon you in the middle of the slide.
we might have to find a Sun Phoenix replacement, and maybe replacement for the players.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They better get going quickly. Yeah.
That was really well played though by the Burnt Toasties. I think they have found their answer. Maybe they've found their comp. The Diva or Monkey and the Pharmacy with the Genji seems to be their solution to dealing with the pressure of the enemy team. Interestingly, Zoom decided to stick on the Genji this time. He didn't decide to try counter the Pharah. He was getting a lot of value on it, so that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But it does put a lot of pressure then onto Josh, who was getting picks, getting damage, doing well, but it's a lot of pressure on one player to deal with two players in the Pharah and the Mercy.
Yeah, definitely. We do now move swiftly on to Nepal. Another map where Pharah is, at least two of them, she can find a lot of value in.
Yeah.
So the first map is Sanctum, so it might end up being a bad start for the Burnt Toasties.
But that also then puts pressure on Frontline Fighters, because they then, knowing this is a bad map for Pharah, they have to win this map.
Have to win, yeah.
Again, this is a map where rush comps can be quite successful, because there's no high ground to hide in. Rush struggles to deal with high ground, so the Frontline Fighters might excel here, being able to just force down the enemy. But we're going to see the Pharah. You can't rush down a Pharah if they're in the sky.
Yeah, I like the Pharah here. We saw on Mecha Base how not having the Pharah makes such a big difference. Even if the Pharah is not ideal here, she's still okay on Sanctum, you know?
Yeah, and we're going to see the Genjis from both teams. Genji is very strong. Both Genjis have been getting a lot of value. It all really comes down to this. Can Josh put pressure on Rexu enough? Can Phoenix keep Rexu alive? Can Zlade and Auntie keep Twisty alive?
Yeah,
there's a lot of fights.
What are the tanks going to contribute here? That's as important as anything else.
Yeah.
Defect looks to get aggressive here on the right-hand side, on that Diva. Not finding any picks here, neither team. But look at that, Josh manning up to the Pharmacy. Maybe not how I would approach it, but what do I know is... Yeah, he does end up dying. Did he fall off, or did he get himself with a bomb?
Oh no, someone's off. Rexu's off.
Oh, Rexu.
Twisty's off. Rexu got
Twisty taken down as well. So, the Pharah not map isn't proving to go in the wave of Frontline Fighters. And as we said, it's so important for them to find value here, where in theory, Burnt Toasties is at their weakest.
I mean, we say it's not a great map for Pharah. It can be very strong, because especially in this situation where they now have control of the map, there are only a few approaches for the enemy to get in. So Rexu is going to deal a lot of damage. As we can see, he already has his Barrage.
Yeah, this is rough for them. Oh, and look where he's hanging out here.
He's fighting for it.
They're going the other way though.
It's a good speed boost, a good reaction. They respond well, they get through. Now they got to take space. They've got to use the space they've made.
But look how much space Rex is making. He's splitting them up. If one goes forward, it isolates the backline. The Barrage, though, press Q to pay respects to yourself, as he does end up dropping, and he's not in a spot where Phoenix can res him. Self-destruct comes up. Finds Josh Z. She's going for it. The Mad Lady. She gets Rexu back up, and now this fight went from good to terrible here for the Frontline Fighters. Look how close together these people are. They do find all the picks. Takuma picks himself a cool double there, and from bad to worse here for the Frontline Fighters.
Yeah, they started that so well. They got in through the choke. They got the Pharah, who used Barrage. None of them died, and then they couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't capitalize, and now we're seeing Blades from both teams, Kitsune rushes from both teams coming online, and a bomb from either. It's altered.
Oh, this could be enormous. Cubic with the double. The beat comes through, but it's just a little bit too late as Cubic dulls his blade on the shields, but he'll get the kill eventually, and that is gonna be it for this team fight. Oh my goodness.
It's really not good. It's partly on delayed to contest because people are only respawning now, and it's not looking good. They're not gonna be able to take a full fight, it looks like. But they do have ults. That is their one saving grace. They have ults. They can win this fight if they get contest and if they get the space.
They should get contest at least here, Fluffy, as they come through. Joshy, the attack visor, taken down. Diablo put in the corner and told to sit down. Defect slaps him down. 4 kills for 0 in this team fight, and Sanctum will be going the way of the Burnt Toasties. What a banger of a match to start the Kiriko Cup with.
Yeah, it's now. We were saying how the whole match, Frontline fighters are in the advantage. They're 2-0 up. They're 2-1 up. And now it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Burnt Toasties. The other maps don't matter anymore. It's now 1-0 to Burnt Toasties on the only map that matters.
And it just gets worse here for the Frontline fighters. Because now Rexu has his pick of where he wants to be. This decent cover on this map in the sky. And it's going to be rough here. How did they deal with Rexu? Zoom says, I've had enough of the Genji. I'm going to try and kill Rexu where he is.
Double hit scan, so now it is more of a 2v2. Although, no, he's going to go on the Sombra. Still more of a 2v2 than it was before. It's really on Twisty as well to really help out his DPS and matrix that barrage when it comes, or matrix that damage when it comes in. We're seeing that there is a lot of damage on both sides, but it's always just going a little bit more in the favor of the Pharah and the Toasties.
That hack on the Diva could be critical. If they can take her out quickly, that'll convey a lot of
good hack
value. Oh, Cubic goes down. Okay, good start for them. Where is Pharah? On the ground there in the front line. Not able to find too much pressure. Oh, obviously, what am I thinking? Zoom just putting on so much pressure with the Sombra here, and that's going to be it. Position taken, but great discipline from the Burnt Toasties there.
Yeah, that's a really good fight. We're seeing the strength of the Sombra. She hacks the Diva, she hacks the Genji, she hacks the Pharah. The short cooldown hacks getting a lot of value, and then people taking it and using it.
They did commit Suzu here, so they need to be careful now. They don't have that cleanse for a number of seconds here. Defect spotted something he wants, and he's going to go deep for it, but he's pulling a lot of pressure off the front line. Twisty goes down. Cubic finds that kill. Defect going to try and scramble out of there, and it looks like he's going to get there, but are they trading? No. Great work from Defect and Co. Rexu, though, drops on the other side. Oh, Cubic dropping as well, so space created, but it's not enough to help them push forward, and might have been wrong about this one, Fluffy. It looks like Frontline fighters have found a rhythm here on this map in spite of the Rexu Pharah.
So interestingly, we saw Diablo kill the Pharah. Ground Pharah was slain by the Kiriko. Again, we're seeing something similar to what we saw on Sanctuary in the last map, where Frontline fighters are taking the control, and now it's really Burnt Toasties can take their time to try and build ults, but they do have to eventually win a fight, and we haven't seen it yet. They are going to come up to a massive ult fight. This is about to be 10 ults.
Well, hopefully not, right? Hopefully someone has the discipline.
I would not be surprised.
They've got the EMP though, so it could end up just being one if they do it correctly. But there's the EMP over the top. That's a lot of damage. Cubic taken down immediately. Defecto gets Twisty. Oh, the hack! He's too good! Zoom finds Defect, prevents him from remaking it, takes him down. Josh Z under pressure now, but the attack visor gonna help get the picks here. The Valking Mercy can't run from that, and that's gonna be that here for this team fight. Frontline fighters weather the storm. They hold on to a couple of ultis, and they might just end up winning the map.
That was a 6-fight ult between both teams. So Frontline fighters used a lot of ults, but they did keep it. And can anyone contest? Yes, they can. Now we're going to see a lot of ults coming back in the way of evil.
Here comes the blade, but the beat is there. With an exclamation point at the end of the sentence, that is this map. Great work from him. Great work from the Frontline fighters. We had it all flipped, Fluffy.
We did. That was a you think Burnt Toasties have that fight advantage. They have all those ults. They're coming in. They get a pick, and then the massive bomb. It was a really good bomb.
It's so deflating when you're playing another team, and that comes through. All of a sudden, the kill feed flashes are red, and you know the map's over. But now we're on to Shrine. This map is.
Village. The last map. A strong map for Pharah. It can
but I think the Sombra is so good here again, right?
The Sombra is such a strong hero in the current iteration of the game, and Zoom is playing her very well. We're going to see a spawn TP, maybe. Will Cubic stay on the Symmetra is a question mark, because that will be the first time he doesn't play Genji.
I doubt it, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna swap.
Yeah. That is what I would do.
We're gonna see the game.
Trying to locate the hero in the hero menu clearly. He's not used to switching off of
Josh.
Genji.
He's fine.
Damage coming through here. Need to be careful as the pressure comes through. You can see the strength here of the Pharah, but he needs to be careful. Rex is playing a very passive sort of low ground Pharah style, but here we go. Goes aggressive now, looking for targets, not finding any just yet. It's hard to find damage through the D.Va, but the D.Va does go down now. Twisty dead, so that's a huge amount of space afforded to the DPS on the side of the Burnt Toasties. Now point has unlocked, but they're going to look to get these picks here. Wumi needs to be careful, taken down. Defect finds that kill. And can they find anything else here? They need to kill this D.Va before Shuri makes it possible. They will cap the point in the meanwhile. Zlayed.
No one's capping.
No, they're not getting him. Yeah, they've left the point now. Might be the right decision if they
Maybe.
can. Okay,
win the fight, then cap point. Oh, that's a good pick. That's a stagger. I think what you're saying earlier about Rexu not being able to play as aggressive as he has before, it's true. And part of that I think is because of Zoom's Sombra. Because when he was playing really, really aggressive, he was getting hacked and then he was getting picked. So he has to play a bit more passive until at least he knows either they don't have defense matrix, they don't have hack, or someone gets a pick and enables him to, or he gets a pick and someone enables him to be able to then play aggressive.
Setting up here for a barrage. They're not coming through here. They've spotted him out, obviously, and they're going the other way. So good movement here from the frontline fighters, but that's not going to help them live from it. There we go. There's the hack. They get the cap. Oh my god.
That's big.
Can they stand up to what is being offered here? With the beat, they might be able to. Auntie taking a lot of damage here from the blade, but won't even go down. Rexu Phoenix out of the fight here. All the self-destruct. Get anything he does. A double from Defect. Hacked up, but gets remake. Hacked once again. And he finally kills. Look at the damage that comes out of this hero now. So much more of an assassin than she was in the past. EMP at the ready. Cubic taken down. They might not even need it, but they've had control of the fight, Fluffy, for so long already.
Yeah, that was a really bad mistake. Letting them cap point and then losing the fight. Like, I can't explain to you how bad that is.
Oh, Slay goes down though. Defect comes in. He does get D-Mech, but Joshi with the attack bars here looking for targets. He will find Mercy in the sky. Dakuma dropped as well. No healers alive for the Burnt Toasties. And again, the point is in control of the frontline fighters. So this is just worse and worse for the Burnt Toasties.
Yeah, the one saving grace is that the that's very good for Burnt Toasties. They're coming in with Barrage, and they've just picked the Sombra. If they take this fight quickly and they take it well and organized, this could be the flip.
And only Kitsune Rush here as well in terms of ultimate.
Which can be difficult to use because it doesn't move. You can avoid it quite easily.
What is happening here? Twisty just got his ulti back and then killed himself.
No,
strange choice. Cubic now coming in with the Kitsune Rush, but it looks like it's just too much damage coming out of the frontline fighters here. They don't even need their main tank. Twisty's dead when they started this fight, and they're cleaning up so effectively here. Defect all by himself. Can he get out? Yes, he can, but this is last fight territory.
Yeah, it's dire straits. You know, we're talking about the Pharah dominance the whole game, but now in the last seconds of the game, the Pharah is on the back foot.
Twisty pops ulti here. Nice. Sozu gonna keep Defect alive at least for a little bit longer. Rexu though, he's got the angle there. Black screen for a moment as he blinks the sweat out of his eyes here. Phoenix needs to be careful. Comes around the back. Cubic pops his ulti, gets in, but gets hacked up under pressure. Self-destruct in the backline. Finds Josh C. That space for Rexu. Pops his ultimate now in response. Slade going down. Great work from Rexu and the rest of his team here. They're cleaning up. They will get the flip. 31 to 99. No mistakes now from Burnt Toast. He's going forward.
They can't, but frontline fighters have EMP, which could be massive. But what we're seeing is what we expected.
Oh, Genji needs to be careful here. Cubic hacked up. Okay, he does end up getting.
What we're seeing is what we expected. When Pharah is in control of the point, she excels. When she's not, she struggles because she struggles to get in onto point. So that's what we're seeing. Now they have point, maybe they can capitalize on the Pharah more.
Sune Rush coming through, that should help a little bit as well in terms of forcing them back. 57 on the clock here again. They can't lose the fight. The EMP comes through. That's so much damage. No one dropping just yet, but Takuma drops first. That's healing out now, and that means Mercy can't do what she wants. She has to take care of the team. Rexu does find Zoom though. Can they find anything more on the front line? Does it matter? Have they lost too much already? We'll have to wait and see here. Rexu looking for an angle here around the back. He's found Josh in the back. He's got an ultimate here. He's going to push forward. He pops his ulti, not fighting him down. damage. Yes, he is. Josh
Finds
goes
one.
down, but the self-destruct takes him out, and a DMX defect. It's looking pretty dire here for the Burnt Toasties now, but if they can win this team fight, they might be able to win the series here. The blade comes through, taken down. Auntie on a rampage. The double kill on the Kitsune Rush is going to secure them the map, and that's going to be that. Frontline Front is going to take the series 3-2 with a draw in the middle. What an absolute banger, Fluffy.
We couldn't have played more Overwatch. It was a very, very close game and really well played by both teams. We saw great responses by both teams, not just in their mechanical plays, but in how they decided to do things, the adjustments they made, the Pharah, the Genji, the Sombra, the Wrecking Ball even. It was a great game.
And it ended just in the nick of time here.
And just in the nick of time.
Because I suspect I'm about to use power. So we'll wrap this one up nice and quick. Congratulations to the Frontline fighters. They made a meal of it, but we enjoyed eating that meal. And that's going to be it, guys. Action all throughout the day here. We've got a match happening in just under an hour's time at 3 o'clock. So stick around for that. And matches, yeah, exactly. Matches every 3 hours after that. Last one being at 8 o'clock. So if you're excited for more Overwatch 2, and how could you not be after a game like that? Don't worry, we've got you covered for today. So stick around here, guys. We'll see you. Fluffy, it's been a pleasure. We'll get out of here.